it's cool, Bob, and he's like, "Did you call me Blob?" and attacks him. Because yes, I remember that vividly, Matthew.
Big fat man. Big man.
Yeah, whenever you're ready, Logan. Specifically you,
cool.
because we're already going.
Yeah, great. I'm glad we caught the X-Men Origins Wolverine bit of the conversation there.
Welcome.
That's going to be in the recap next time.
Yeah.
We're going to circle back around in the next episode on that.
Speaking of the recap, when last we left our party, they had decided that in order to cross the absent range, they would need to make for the Citadel of the Stars and try to find more information about potential routes across. On their way, they promised King Octavius Bulwark that they would investigate the town of Damarel. Upon arrival, they found the town under siege by elementals, who the party appeased by returning the eye of the greater elemental that was leading them and providing them the core of a Colossus Guardian as an apology. They were hailed by heroes of the town, who are now able to try and rebuild and return to a normal life. And now the party faces the decision of what their next steps will be. I think to sort of set the scene, we'll say that this probably picks up a little bit after your return and after you've given the eye, and I believe you gave one of the 3 Essentia crystals to the town to help rebuild. For just sort of like catching you up on what's going on, the surviving soldier who returned after you guys went out to try and get the Guardian core has been resting up for the last few days in the inn. The town is probably starting to rebuild, and like I think it'll sort of depend on how long you stay, of how much you guys see of that. Essentially, they will just like put you up indefinitely and just like help you out in any way that they can. So the question is more, how long do you guys want to stay, and what do you want to do?
This town's boring. Let's leave.
Well, you've still got a long journey ahead of you, but
asshole.
The question is, where do you guys go next?
I think the first thing is obviously we've still got all the the badges of those soldiers that died in the mines, right?
Yes, I believe you haven't given those to anyone yet.
Yeah, I think if we hand them to the surviving member, so like he can then do, because he'll probably more than likely at this point, once he's healed up and he's able to.
Oh my God, Sarah, your new icon.
Ride back out.
I didn't know a gift would work.
Yes.
It works well.
I can't see anything.
So, I think like if you go and visit him, people will of course let you into the room where he's resting. He mostly just seems to have like been suffering from like extreme exhaustion and hunger and like dehydration, and he'll probably be like in a fairly good state within the next couple of days. And like he will sort of like half lucidly agree that yeah, he can take the badges back to Bulwark and inform the king of their fates and inform the king of what you guys have accomplished here. The plan at the minute seems to be like people are definitely going to leave the town. The town isn't going to suddenly become a ghost town, but quite a lot of people are probably going to leave, and he will escort them to Bulwark with him.
Is it because they're tormented by what's happened in the past with the town?
Yeah,
the whole place is just getting
quite
fucked.
A lot of people are going to say, actually, I don't want to live in this place. It's not safe. Let's go to a city instead with better defenses.
As much as I like to pat us on the back, we didn't actually solve the issue of where did they go. So for all we know, they could have just moved to the other end of the mine and this could start all over again. I wouldn't stay there.
I mean, Wonders did say that she was going to have someone hired who can detect magic, and anything coming out of the town, anything coming out of the mine would have to be checked to see whether it was magical. And if it's magical, it stays underground. No magic gems are being dug up and taken back and sold on the market or kept in some tiefling's collection anymore. Because although nobody meant any harm, harm was definitely done.
Yeah, we'll blame him for a lot of murder,
Uh,
and we'll spread the word.
Speaking of woe, after your last conversations and the fact that he's now spent like the better part of a week like just hidden in his office, having like the worst time of his life, he's very strongly leaning towards joining all the people who are leaving the town and just trying to make a new life, even in another colony or in Bulwark.
They should force him to just live there on his own while everyone leaves. It's his fault.
Well, like, the only person who knows about what happened and about what the cause of this is Wanders.
For now.
She hasn't told anyone. But at the same time, like, he's, like, I think if you guys ask him, he would be pretty upfront and say, like, he's not going to be comfortable here knowing that what happened is essentially his fault.
Gross negligence.
Like, it's impossible to go back to the way things were for him.
Who do you reckon's more emotionally scarred? The families of the people who died or him?
I imagine the families of the people who
Probably
died.
the families, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, depends.
I imagine the people who like had their houses destroyed and their loved ones bludgeoned to death in front of them probably have a worse time of it than the guy who accidentally started it.
By a giant rock.
Big old rock
You're
man.
getting defeated by a rock.
So, is there many people planning to stay? Because obviously, with so many leaving, is it even safe?
It was a small village to begin with. A lot of the security sort of came from the warding lantern, which is still effective. I think with some of the money from the Essentia Crystal, and hopefully with the mines being able to be reopened, they can get some more money in. They are probably quite likely going to hire some sort of town guard, or at least like start training a local militia.
I don't think that's their responsibility, really. It should be doing this.
Bulwark, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you're welcome to go back to the city and tell him.
Hell yeah, that's what we'll do then.
Yeah, maybe we should.
Hero.
Yeah, maybe we should.
Take those medals that we found on all the dead bodies to prove that they need someone.
I thought you were going to say try and sell them back.
I mean, we could do that after we've talked him into it.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys received 150 platinum as advance payment for sorting this out.
Did we?
Yeah, Alex took it all.
What? No, I didn't. Actually,
Is it
did I?
funny?
To share that around.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
nice.
got like 150
you got
platinum.
any,
I
spare change?
actually never included that 150
like that
platinum
it's-
pieces into my amount. So
Is it in your bag of holding?
no, I never actually put it on.
Oh, okay.
So 1 second, let me just work it out so I can tell how many. Everyone, 150. No, I need.
Because
So
it's
30
essentially
30
it's,
platinum pieces each. There you go.
yeah, that's 300 gold equivalent each. Because a platinum piece is worth 10 gold. So,
So everyone had 30 platinum pieces.
Okay.
We'll just say we.
Wait, 30 platinum?
Have-
Oh, right, okay.
yeah. And also he gave you the Belt of Dwarven Kind, which Erlan is currently wearing. It's why he has his magnificent beard now. Which I think is actually like not magnificant at all. It's pretty scraggly.
No, I was
isn't
going
it?
to say it's awful. Yeah, I haven't done anything.
It's patchy.
I was gonna say he's a half elf, and they ain't the most known for beards.
Yeah.
It's his human blood coming through right now. But it's probably got like wine stains in it, matted and clumped.
Yeah,
You haven't combed
thick
it
probably.
properly.
Split ends
Um,
everywhere.
Yeah.
What
yeah.
are we going to do?
Yeah, my questions are sort of. I mean, I can put you guys on the actual map of the continent if you would like, but how long?
Yeah,
are you
I
going
think-
to
I
stay
think
in
we
the
can-
town? What are you going to do? And where are you going to go? You said
So-
I've marked your current location with a picture of Taito.
Yay.
Taito's
Just
like a
because
flag.
that
love
block
it.
that we were using was really
That's
not
Taito.
functioning. Like I couldn't move it.
Oh, it's
I mean-
actually Taito.
We
Yeah.
haven't seen the
Oh,
sun
who
in a
just
while,
increased the
guys.
size of it? Come on.
Me, so that you could see it.
Oh my god.
There we go.
Why is it on the
So,
side?
I think we're here.
There. Yeah.
So we were heading to here, weren't we? Citadel of the Stars. That's where we're heading to, wasn't it?
Yes. Well, you were headed to whatever dwarven fortress is below the Citadel of the Stars. No one has told you the name of it yet.
Oh, okay.
But
So we're
you know,
heading-
the Citadel of the Stars will also be there, and you could access the Citadel of the Stars from there. The thing is, like, if you were to take a direct route, sort of more or less west of your current position, you'd be heading through not quite mountainous terrain, but definitely large hills. You don't know what's that way. It's pure wilderness. You know that if you were to go further south, your map says rivers. Rivers mean water elementals. You know, you've done this enough by now to know that if you go into a place which has a close tie to an element, you're going to deal with stuff from that element.
Okay. Is there like any kind of road? Was there any kind of road network that linked the two dwarven fortresses?
Oh no. You're down on the surface and you are as far as, like, you are at the very reaches of civilization right now.
They need to work.
This
on
is
their
the
infrastructure.
furthest colony. You're in a very hostile place here. Unfortunately,
done for ages.
like, yeah, you haven't. It's been like, God, you
A
don't
good
even
while.
know how long. A month, 2 months? It's really hard to tell now.
So where did we? Okay, I'm trying to remember here. Did we say we were going to do the Valley of the Dead or the Coastal Path? I can't remember.
Essentially, you hadn't decided
We
yet.
haven't-
You
yeah,
said
we
you were
didn't
going to
know,
make
did
for
we?
the Citadel of the Stars as a starter and try and learn what they had to say about potential ways of crossing the Absent Range because they were a bit closer than the Citadel of the Moon.
Right. Okay, so
But ultimately, your decision is subject to change. You're free to do whatever you feel like doing.
so the real question we got to ask ourselves, guys, is: are we prepared to make a full wilderness trek? I heard that, Nick. I heard that. No one's not. Please.
No.
The Arkan's like, no, please, let's just stay where it's civilized.
Water elementals or deadly mountain range.
We love
I
we
mean,
love water elementals, right? Arrows and
Oh.
everything, you know.
You've dealt with
mean,
water
most-
elementals now, and
I was
you
gonna
don't-
say.
Yeah.
You can ask around Damarel and see what they know about their local
Oh.
area as well. Like,
Yes, if they know anything, like if they are aware of a route.
Yeah, there
That
must be
might
some
head
people that
to-
travel from between these locations, right? Do you think we
there
could
is
You'd
ask
have-
someone,
definitely.
like
Yeah,
a
you'd have to
merchant
say
or-
so.
There is. I will make a check to see. I'll make a check for Cherish, and I suppose I'll make a check for. Well, I'll make a check for Cherish and Wonders, and I'll make a check for Woe as well, because I imagine those are like the people who might have some knowledge, because they're the ones who like would have the closest contact with outsiders. So,
Yeah.
first of all, Cherish and Wonders. Okay, that's not bad. And we'll check Woe as well. That's also pretty good. So I think between the three of them, they would be able to sort of let you know there's no like official trade routes that
Mhm.
are like no well-traveled trade routes that are going to go between the fortresses on the surface. That's kind of the point, is they are supposed to be like points of light in the dark, and this is a very untamed land just by the nature of it. A lot of the trade with the Citadel, with the fortresses, is with the Citadels above and with their like outlying colonies, and they can't expand too far because like once the further a road gets, the exponentially more difficult things get to maintain. As you have seen here, you're 5 days journey away. The road was out of work. There was no militia here. The people who they did try and send got essentially slaughtered. And this was only like a week's travel away. However, there is like people travel via the sky all the time, but it so like that's normally how you get people from one citadel going to another citadel as they've gone above the clouds. People have definitely made the journey across land, and it can be very profitable. Not necessarily because of trade between the settlements, but because of what you find on the way. When it's the path less trodden, there's also ancient ruins and monster domains and all sorts of stuff, which is heavily laden with previously untouched loot and has been untouched for probably hundreds of years, or maybe even more than that. The latest travelers they probably had would have been the ones who clued them into the Colossus Guardian that you guys fought and destroyed. They probably came from the east, and they would let you know that to the east in the hills is a small, it's not even really a settlement so much as it is a colony of mushroom people who are not generally super hostile. They're more of super alien, but as long as you don't cause trouble or bring them harm, they generally won't harm you. And that's sort of the closest thing to civilization you're likely to find until you get much closer to the Citadel of the Stars, as in until either you cross the hills or cross the river.
Okay. So either way, if we do this by land, we'll cross on one of these. I think if we go to this settlement, probably sounds like a small plan because it's somewhere that, while they're not instantly hostile, is somewhere or welcoming, is somewhere where we can stop and rest safely.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then from there, maybe they would know of a route to help, because obviously then, if we can talk to them, obviously it all depends
Just
on
make
what
sure
they
they don't see us as a threat when we arrive.
Yeah,
I don't
so
think
basically,
anyone in Damaral would actually have any idea about myconids. They wouldn't know really anything about it. They would know, mushroom people, because that's what the trader told them, and that's about the extent of their knowledge.
so maybe we can go there, obviously showing no harm, and hopefully there's someone who speaks common, because I highly doubt there's anyone here who can speak myconid. I know I can't yet, so
I'll be really pleased if people could speak to me in what's the primordial or orc
stone.
What about orcs?
Orcs exist.
Yeah, but
there are definitely orcs down here on the surface.
Hell yeah!
In fact, you have 4 orcs down here on the surface.
That is right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think
and giants.
That might be our best route. Hopefully they speak common. I would guess so, if people know who they are and they've probably seen them and have an idea of as long as you're not hostile to them, they won't be hostile to you. That means they must have at least been in contact with them.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a
Room
chance.
people just sound fun.
Mushroom people,
don't eat them.
Yes.
Oh no!
Definitely gonna eat them.
So yeah, I think that's probably the best option. We move.
Let's not be hostile. Also, Rob, let's eat the mushroom people.
No, I mean, you're definitely gonna eat them.
Hell yeah! Wait, no.
Wait, is there a roll for an unarmed mouth attack using your mouth?
Just eat.
Like Homer Simpson and the.
It would probably be an unarmed strike, which would essentially just be a strength check because, you're not proficient in mouth.
I'm gonna learn how to combat with mouth.
Expertise with eat.
With the rate of this conversation, I'm pretty certain that you have no expertise in mind either.
No, my
his
intelligence
wisdom mod is very low. His intelligence is okay. It's his wisdom that's terrible.
Leave me alone.
Don't eat live things. What wisdom?
Leave me alone. with
Okay,
them.
so-
Don't eat enemies.
So,
Bad
no,
friends.
it sounds
friends.
like you guys are leaning towards heading east. Then,
Yeah,
What,
let's do
to
that.
the Fallen Dawn?
Yeah.
To
Right.
the whatchamacallit, Fallen Dawn.
What?
Wait, did you say to the east, Logan? Do you mean the west?
sorry, west. Yeah,
Okay.
I was gonna say
So this settlement, is that in the
Fallen Dawn
mountains
was
or
the
is that by the
vampire
river?
place.
it'll,
Yeah, we've already been there, haven't we?
This
Yeah.
would be in the
Good luck.
mountains, or
In the
not even.
mountains.
They're not mountains; they're hills.
Okay.
But
In the hilly
they're
areas.
smaller than mountains. They would still, if you didn't have a revised ranger in the party, they would still like pose difficult terrain that would slow you down, I think. But given that now rangers get their favorite terrain bonuses in all terrains, like the terrain doesn't really slow you down at all. So
So the
you
lakes
guys
then.
would be able to,
So walking the Lake District.
yeah.
Is that what we're walking through? Is it a bit more substantial, or?
If you,
It's
if you want to
probably
picture it
more
like that.
substantial than that. This is, untamed land. I mean, you guys.
so it's like
have
walking
done-
through Nepal.
Yeah, you guys have done overland travel plenty by now. I won't run you through it. I will ask, how long are you guys staying in Damarel before you set off?
Are we in desperate need of any kind of supplies for us to move out? Is anyone? Are we aware that we are missing anything that would be required for survival?
I mean, they're not going to sell much anyway, are they?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, the
yeah,
thing
I was gonna
is-
say.
You guys are capable of foraging for food. You have a ranger in the party. I'm pretty sure, Alex has Outlander as his background. You guys are capable of that. If you wanted to, get stuff for, camping out and stuff like that, you could buy, I don't know, something that you could fashion an alarm system out of. I know Erlan has his Learman's Tiny Hut spell that you generally use.
Yep.
I'm not gonna super micromanage the fast travel because I feel like we've done that by now. It would only be sort of if you guys were going to be traveling for a long period of time, I would skip through it and do a montage sort of thing. But one hex is 3 days, so it'll take you 6 to 9 days to travel through the hills towards the Citadel of the Stars. I was more sort of asking, as a case of, hey, would you guys still be present when people started leaving the village, or would you have already
Yeah,
left
I
by then?
think we'll wait.
Because that'll be a couple of days before what was his name? I need to
Well, great fucking
Yeah.
DM. Fucking brilliant.
Private Agrippa, before Private Agrippa has finished recovering and he will take people with him. Woe will definitely go with the group, and there's probably a dozen or so villagers. It's not an insubstantial, it's a noticeable amount of the village's population, but the village still has 90% of its people. It's definitely, this isn't a big threat to the village's population or anything.
Right.
But there's a few families that leave.
What percentage of the population was lost to the beasts?
You could definitely ask around. I think that they probably again lost a dozen or so people out of a population of 100 or so, probably just over 100.
About 10%.
Yeah, so they've through this lost 20% of their population, which is a large hit to the population, but it's not unrecoverable. And as well, it's this is families leaving as opposed to just the workforce leaving, or people who are essential to the survival of the town.
Okay.
Woe is a person
so
in a
the town's
position of
gonna
power
get
who is
rebuilt.
leaving, but other people can fill that position. There's plenty of experienced miners there. And
Okay.
hopefully.
Well, I guess we
Hopefully.
wait around.
Yeah, I think probably as they leave might be an idea to speak to Wonders and see if if they'll be okay getting on with anything.
Yeah, and like she was very cold and short with you guys when you first returned, and I think now that like the situation has been resolved and there's been like a couple of days since then with still no problems, it's been like a week since the last attack between like you guys negotiating the deal and then going away and then coming back and actually solving the problem. Like she's in a like noticeably better mood, especially like as Woe is going away and as like plans are being put together for how to actually rebuild the town. So I think she probably would like admit she like owes you guys an apology for like being super short with you guys when you first returned.
I mean, I don't think she's particularly wrong.
Yeah,
to be honest,
it's a case of like she was in a real bad place and people who she knew and cared about had died. Like you guys weren't to blame for that, but you did also like knowingly shelter the person who was at least accidentally responsible, and like that was why she was super short with you. But like I think that she would definitely like at least try and make an apology. She would. I mean, the inn is already putting you up for free and like giving you free food and board and stuff. But like, as far as the way the town is treating you, you're heroes. Like,
damn
people,
right.
Like people are coming up to you and thanking you every time you exit the inn. Like people are trying to like invite you over for dinner. Like show you like the new house that they're planning on building.
Oh man, we'll never want to leave at this rate.
Yeah, I was gonna say we might as well just fucking stay.
Yeah, build me a house. I want to stay.
They're not.
Build us a...
You know what, guys? We end our journey
themselves
here.
Build us a mansion.
Settle down.
But,
We're happy forevermore.
Yeah, forget about making it become daylight on the surface. You know, forget about all of that. I think this is a nice town.
Fuck that shit.
Yeah.
It's been so long. We forgot our overall goal anyway. We're happy now.
Yeah, if anything, that's a side trip.
There is definitely an element of every time you guys have like accomplished something big, someone else has either like stolen all the credit or you haven't really like received much recognition from it. This is the first time
Maybe
it feels like
so good.
Yeah, you're genuinely noticed for what you have done for these people.
Does that mean non-spicy?
Does that mean we're going to get statues?
Well, they already made a trash statue for Risu, remember?
I want a wicker statue.
What about the rest of us?
Another bench. You get a bench.
Can we all
For
have
Krabby.
benches?
Benches is what you give to dead people,
Yeah,
not
wait,
people who are
why not?
still alive.
Find a bench for all the dead people.
They could have benches for the people that died. In the
That'd be a lot of benches for the population.
Oh my god, yeah, Jesus Christ. Or,
They could,
is it one,
build
or is it
more
one
benches
comically
than there are
sized
people.
bench?
Oh yeah, it's
Or
like
one giantly
a big park
it's
or
like this
something.
comically large beach
large one
chairs,
just put in the centre of
but
the
like a
park.
massive bench, the size of a house.
Just with everyone's names on the back.
And what's worse is the bench causes more deaths per year from people falling off than the attack itself.
Wow.
And it was
To
such
it,
an
but then-
ordeal to make this bench. People died in the
I
process.
know.
Yeah.
It's like the Empire State Building.
Is there going to be a famous photo of them eating lunch off the bench?
Yeah.
Like the workers?
And a not so famous, quite well covered photo of a guy falling off the bench in the making of that original photo.
All right.
I digress.
Before we go on any more of a tangent,
That's far enough.
like what is there that like you guys wanted to do in Damrel before you leave? We've established you're going to stay for a couple of days. You're going to see off the people who are leaving. Are you just sort of basking in the glory? Like Damrel has
there any
pretty
shops?
limited.
I think none that
Not
would
really at the minute
There
because
wasn't.
like
Yeah, I
normally
thought
they
so.
have like traders that come, but these last few weeks that hasn't been happening for obvious reasons.
I guess we help repair.
Yeah, so you spend like the next couple of days just helping repair, helping people like plan out the way they're going to rebuild the town.
Yeah.
Are any of them likely to follow us through the those hills to the Citadel of Stars?
I think if you asked them to, you could potentially persuade some people, but those people would definitely fucking die, dude. They're
say, some
level
cannon
0.
fodder.
Bring him along, like
You would be
Jerry.
leading those people to deaths. I'm just gonna tell you that as a DM
Then they
right
can
now.
have
Really?
Not smart enough to know this.
Okay.
It's a very dangerous place, and you guys aren't good enough at protecting people.
Yeah, it's not all about killing people. Evil things maybe, but not people. Level 0 people.
Mm-hmm.
Level zeros. Like the insult. Oh my god. Level zeros.
Scum.
Like,
like a baby crawling
Scum,
out.
yeah.
Level 0 scum.
Can we take heroes in training? Convince them.
If you
Whoa.
wanted to like get hirelings and stuff, this is definitely really not the place to do it. Again, these are all just villagers. They have no stats.
You
Like,
want
they
to
have
bring
8
Woe
hit
along,
points
guys?
each.
But Hercules was a farmer.
Hercules was the son of a god.
I was going to say
The
you're
god.
kind of.
The god.
I was going to say you're kind of like hiding a certain important piece of information there.
Yeah.
Come on, every RPG
I mean,
hero
like-
is just some teenager in a village.
You have probably inspired some people, yes. And probably in 5-10 years, there may well be some hero from Damarel who is inspired by a group of adventurers that
A level
came and
1
saved
hero.
his village. But give it 5 years for that kid to grow up first.
Damn
Like, as well, people are probably kind of at a premium after they've lost like 20+% of their population.
Actually, you know
Between
what?
People leaving and people dying.
If taking a couple of people with us to the Citadel of the Stars is certain death for them,
God.
would they have more of a fighting chance if we took the whole village with us?
They would have a chance that some of them would make it.
Hell yeah,
Tell
worth
them to
it.
go on the village and then tell
But
them all.
why
to
would
leave.
you? You would have to convince everyone to just up sticks, completely leave their town and their
Oh.
lives behind.
Don't tell
Oh,
them they
right.
might die.
I don't think
Come on
speech
this
checks are a
ill thought
problem.
out journey. Yeah, but there's a difference between like, hey, I can roll really good, and hey, I just have no like. These people have no reason to do what I'm telling them to do.
We
Like,
could hypnotize
you're
them.
telling them to completely abandon everything that they have ever done in their lives, come on some ill thought out journey to some place that they've never been,
Can you
where
stop
they will
insulting the
almost
Bible?
certainly die en
Can you
route.
stop insulting the Bible, please?
The Bible.
Is that like a Moses thing? Because those people
Yeah,
were like
yeah.
slaves who had horrible lives.
They wanted to
For
be
him,
let go.
isn't it? It's the follow me, follow me. Leave your homes and family. Where they just fucking up and leave. Like fuck it. I'm gonna vibe with Jesus.
They're not imprisoned. It's not let my people go. This is just
Yeah.
they're just in a village.
You can't
Christ.
argue that they weren't slaves.
Well, this town.
Okay.
No, this
I
town.
think
Never mind.
I think
This
we're
town.
finished. I think we're finished
Yeah.
here now,
Yeah,
guys.
we
done here.
finished the tangent now. Once we hit
Ah.
the Bible, I think
Yeah.
we've hit rock
Bible.
bottom here.
Let's
So,
let's just finish up with whatever we're doing and say goodbye and make our ways to the mushroom people.
It's only taken us half an hour to get to this point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
wonder
know.
why.
Hey, this is a post-action episode. You gotta have these. You gotta have the filler arc.
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
Well.
I know nothing about anime, but I know filler exists.
It does exist. You could express this
Naruto,
next arc as
90% filler.
filler. The first
Right.
300 episodes were.
Could
Anyway.
I help a like maimed person build a house and it just turns out to be a nest and they just can't use it? Like, "Hey, I know!" Oh yeah, you can't use
You
it.
did your
no.
best.
I did.
I think that's perfectly fine. Yeah, over the next 2 days, you make someone a nest, and they're too polite to like tell you that this isn't a place where they can actually live. So it's after you go away, they have to demolish it and start fresh.
And
Can I-
it's a nice old couple.
Yeah.
I just like the fact that the rest of us like will walk past every now and again and see this nest get built, but none of us say anything. We're just like,
Yeah, it's like this
We just
lovely old
laugh under our
couple
breath.
slowly look more and more defeated.
Like, who assigned
Everyone
you to these
around
then?
them has nice shiny houses, and they've just got a nest.
Just like made
Don't-
out of
don't question
debris.
it. Yeah.
It's comfy
Okay.
debris.
So, we will start your journey into the wilderness without further ado. Since you guys are heading east
Thank
into
God.
the hills,
There was a bit of a do there, wasn't there?
without further ado,
Big
so you guys are heading east into the hills, and I think you guys are all high enough level and like perceptive enough and used to this sort of thing enough where like
Ot isn't perceptive
essentially
enough.
as soon as the terrain like starts to drastically change, like you are certain that something has like is watching you, and like you get this pervasive feeling of paranoia of like something is watching you, which Erlan, I expect you're probably very used to by now,
Yeah.
given Rock Body. But
Rock buddy.
The Rock
is
Wing
this
Johnson?
is it enough of this idea that we're getting followed where it might be a wise idea if we make a perception roll to see if we can kind
yeah,
of see it?
definitely. I think, yeah, you can make like a perception roll, and it'll be just sort of like you're keeping your eye out over the next couple of days, like as you're going.
Okay.
Stuff.
I'll see how well I do. Watch me roll really bad, guys, because this is how this always goes. Oh my god, it was a nat 20.
Yeah. Well, in that case, it's not.
Yoya sees everything.
You're fairly certain, like there isn't anyone following you from Damarel. Like there isn't any like creatures that are following you just at the edge of your vision or anything. You definitely cannot shake this feeling of being watched, and I think with a nat 20, you notice sort of like as this, as the terrain has changed, you start to see more and more mushrooms are growing about, just like wild mushrooms, toadstools, some weird enchanted mushrooms that you've never seen, fantasy mushrooms that don't look super edible. But yeah, you probably would be able to get the idea that it's possible these myconids already know that you're here in their territory now.
The
Oh, that
mushrooms
didn't
are
take
watching
long.
us.
They're just watching us, making sure we're not doing anything hostile.
Like-
so as
like
long as
eating them.
Yeah.
well, yes, as long as we maintain that kind of atmosphere where we show no real hostilities towards them, then we should be fine.
Don't accidentally
Try not
stand
to.
on one.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. Whoops.
I think trying to confront them is probably not a smart idea. That might give off an air of threat. So
How big are they? Are they bigger than Ot?
These are literally normal mushrooms that you are seeing around. They
right.
don't even seem outstanding in any way.
Like 5 or 10
Like,
centimeters
it's not
tall.
like you're seeing mushroom people about. It's that like you are becoming more aware that
there's
there
more
are
mushrooms
more
around.
mushrooms around.
Yeah.
And you know that you're heading towards an area where mushroom people live, and you feel like you're being watched. Like this isn't something you would even pick up on, except for the fact that you got a nat 20. So, I'd say that, especially since like one of Sarah's new things is that you just cannot become lost in the wilderness except by magical means. And there is nothing magical that is trying to make you lose your way at the moment. You're quite easily able to sort of make your way into the heart of these hills, and you would, I think, like climb up to the top of like a taller hill to try and get a better vantage with your dark vision, and see that sort of in a clearing, like at the bottom, surrounded by all these hills, is one enormous mushroom, like building-sized mushroom, sat like lonely and solitary at the bottom like of this thing, and next to it is like a small tent and a campfire, which doesn't seem to be lit at the moment, but like there's signs that someone probably lives here at the base of this mushroom. But
Interesting
again,
choice.
you don't see like a village of mushroom people at all. Like that's not a thing that you see at the minute, even though you're in very much the heart of their territory.
We're walking through it instead of around it, or is it just because of how the hills are?
Well, I mean, like you guys said that you were making for this mushroom village,
Mushroom
so
village.
like
Oh, right.
because there is no chance that you will get lost, and so unless something is magically going to make you lost, that's where I'm taking you. If you guys want to change destinations and try and skirt around it, then you're allowed to do that.
Are we
I
intimidated?
I like the
interested
idea
in
that if
checking
you
this
try and go
place
off
out.
path, there's suddenly just two invisible walls. It feels like
Yeah.
either side, and we're just like, oh, we've got to
No.
walk down here.
No, it's just that
You
the mushrooms get
actually-
so close together you can't go past them.
No,
Yeah.
actually,
Back
you
onto
just
the
can't
path.
leave these railroad tracks that lead you towards the giant mushroom.
We're gonna have a on rails gun shooting section next with the mushrooms.
Zombie mushrooms.
So, yeah, you guys are probably stood like at
So
the
we're near
top
a
of this
tent, aren't we?
hill. Well, you guys are probably stood at the top of this hill, an vantage point overlooking this giant mushroom with like a small encampment next to it.
Okay.
But it looks like maybe there's one tent, so like it looks like one person's encampment. And do mushrooms use tents?
Can we see if there's anyone in the tent? Can we hear anyone? Or is there any
Probably-
like fire outside or anything?
Probably not
signify
from this
someone's there?
distance. There was a campfire there, but it's not currently lit. Like you'd have to definitely get closer to investigate the place. At the
I think
minute
we should
you
just-
are on a vantage point, so you know place exists.
I think we should just stop assuming what mushroom society would be like, and we just experience it for ourselves. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's become one with the mushrooms.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
We could all wear
Reject,
mushroom
humanity,
costumes.
return to shroom.
Return to
Return to
shroom.
shroom.
One thing I forgot to mention, you probably haven't seen like other creatures during this journey, or like anything that is in the area is smart enough to like steer clear of you at the minute. But you have definitely seen signs of like combat and even weapons, and like probably like the dead bodies of orcs around.
No.
But
yeah.
you haven't seen any like living hostile things during your journey.
Huh.
So, are the orcs like? Do they have like cordyceps infections on them, or do they just literally like? There's any damage to battle damage them, or they literally just dead on the floor type of thing?
I tell you what, if you wanted to make like either survival or investigation checks, I would let you do that.
Let me see what I'm better at. I
Me.
believe it's going to be.
I'd be proficient and have advantage, right?
Oh yeah, go for it.
Oh yes, you would.
So, perception
Or survival, or nature, or
Survival.
whatever you want to do. It probably wouldn't be perception; it'd probably be investigation, or nature, or survival,
I'll go
whichever's
with
best.
survival.
Okay, 16. Yeah, you would probably like have found a few of these like signs of struggle dotted about, and one thing that you would notice is that these orcs, they don't look like proper raiding parties. They look like starved. They don't look like they're in good condition. They don't look like they're well equipped. Some of them definitely do have like fungal growths. It's not quite full on cordyceps, but yeah, it seems like they've been infested with some sort of parasite.
Oh god, it's the Last of Us.
So the line you're basically telling us is don't fuck with the mushrooms. Who would have thought?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I think with a 16, that's probably the best you would get.
If-
No, in
if I
fact,
had
there
advantage,
is
do I roll
one.
again?
Yes, you do actually.
Oh.
Roll. That's a lot better. Okay.
Yeah.
In that case, yeah, there is definitely several of the bodies do not have injuries that mark that. Several of them have what appears to be like, you guys are used to seeing this by now. It's magic damage. It's damage that's been done by spells, by like lightning and fire. And one of the bodies, in fact, the head is completely hollow.
So
There's just a hole in the head,
Ew.
and it is
So
hollowed out.
So what you're saying is these mushrooms, they've got a gat and they just fucking shot them in the head.
There's no remains of any brain that, or like anything that would have been in the skull. It is an empty skull, and these bodies are recent.
no exit wound.
No exit wound, just a hole.
Do we have any way of wearing gas masks or anything like that? Are there ye olde gas masks we could put on?
I mean, they
Or make?
exist. You would have to like have bought some, I think.
Damn.
If you wanted to tell me how you would make one, then go right ahead,
Um,
and
I
I'll
have
see
no
about
clue.
making a check for it. But yeah,
I
I
have
don't
no
know how
clue.
you would. I don't know
Yeah.
how you would make a gas mask either. That's why I'm not saying like, yeah, sure, just roll survival.
I feel like I'd just put a jar on my head type of thing.
You've got a jar of dirt.
Yeah.
Could
Yeah,
Ock
so I
use
think that-
some of his disguisable clothes to make a makeshift mask,
I haven't put any music on
Face
either.
face mask?
Yeah, you can definitely do that.
Hell yeah.
Put cloth like, over your mouth and face. You can make a
Yeah,
mask.
I'm gonna see
Yeah.
if I've
Yeah,
got
let's
anything
do
like
that.
It feels like Corona.
What
Mm.
are we gonna have to roll?
Damn it, we play this to escape that.
Damn.
Survival?
I'd say I don't know. It's probably up to you. Like if you can come up with one of your skills and reason to me how that would help you make it, I would allow
I think
it. But,
survival
I
would
think
probably
by
be the
default,
best.
survival is probably the
What
best
are you,
one. Yeah.
what
Oh
are you
hell
trying to
yeah,
make
that's a
this from?
fucking good mask.
Someone with advantage.
I'm
That's
putting
fine.
on background music a second, so
What are you trying to make these masks from?
I'll try that.
Any
I'm
cloth
assuming like yeah, you've got like spare sets of clothes.
Yeah,
like
I've got a
scraps
set of common
cloth and
clothes
stuff.
I could use.
Yeah,
Or
so
I've got a zombie nipple. Maybe that would make a good mask. We just stretch it out.
So
Sarah, by the way, come to think of it, you're rolling survival with Taito rather than with Risu.
Oh yeah. Oh, whoopsie. Hang on, I gotta swap
He
them out.
wouldn't be able to make a mask. He'd just scratch it.
Yeah.
Scratch the fabric to pieces.
You've got
Logan,
two character sheets to worry about now.
Yeah.
Logan,
Hello.
with the one that's hollowed out, does it look like it was done via
That's
arcane
like-
means, or was it more like a natural kind of thing that's caused it to happen?
There is definitely bodies which have been hit by spells. It looks like some spells have hit and done some damage to this body, and there's probably one or two which are like this. And you haven't found them all in one big corpse pile. This has been like over the course of several like sites of small skirmishes. But it doesn't look like that specific injury was done by any spell you would know about. It looks like something has drilled a hole in this thing's head and extracted the brain.
I knew I should have got detect magic.
Okay. So so it's just like cut a hole, and so it's not like something, say, like a fungi is like been ingested into them and then caused like a growth for it to explode out.
Not on those two bodies. On some of the other ones which seem to have like some sort of fungal parasite, yes.
In terms of game mechanics, if we meta this a bit, would that be a poison?
The brain thing or the fungal thing?
the fungal thing or a
Um,
disease, maybe.
I don't think like Yolya would know enough about myconids to know that. You would suspect that it's either like some sort of magical fungus, or it might be like a poison effect.
Okay.
But you wouldn't know for sure one way or the other until you encountered it.
Okay.
I know you're thinking, I'm immune to poison. Maybe this won't affect me.
Yeah, I'm just not. That's why I was just saying, would we be aware? Are we aware if it is a poison or is it?
You wouldn't know enough about
I wouldn't know.
myconids to really understand.
Okay.
You would be able to recognize like the mushrooms themselves are poisonous, like if you tried to eat them.
Yeah. That's fine then. So I'll just roll my own survival. Check a 23. There you go. So there's my means to try and protect myself from harmful
I think
things.
like between some of you getting like fairly good survival checks, and it's not difficult to make a face mask. Even those of you who got like lower checks, I think the others can help you out, and so like you can all make functioning face masks, which you don't know how well they would protect you from spores. Again, it's improvised. It's made out of like cloth, but it's not like a proper gas mask or filter or anything. But again, you don't really know what you're coming into. You haven't like entered any areas of like a thick cloud of spores or anything like that. So we will fast forward you back to where we were. You're on this hill overlooking the giant mushroom and the campsite. It's up to you guys what you want to do with this knowledge.
So seeing down into that, is there any kind of activity that we can notice, or is it just completely still?
At the moment, in fact, no, make a perception check for me. You're on this vantage point overlooking it.
Well, that wasn't very good.
Only a 12, yeah.
Well, the rest of us could try, couldn't we?
Yeah.
If we're all looking over the same place.
Yeah. The only one I would say probably couldn't is Art, just because of dark vision.
Yes, but
Well,
that number says
that
the same.
explains the
That
zero.
explains it.
Got a 0. He's blind.
I don't see shit.
Perception.
I mean, I get
Oh, not much better.
the reason I'm saying dark vision would allow you to even see this far is because I'm assuming you guys have a light source. So, like, dark vision allows you to see further in dim light. So, like, you guys are able to see in the distance, even, like, if you have, like, dim light that Art can see by as well. So,
I mean, I could still
Yeah,
have
I
his
like-
sword raised to see as well.
with your perception checks at the minute, you don't see any people moving about. You don't see any movement at all, to be honest. You see that there is a campsite. There might be someone in the tent. You don't know. There's no movement. You'd have to get closer to find out.
Right. Well, there's only one way to find out, then, ain't there?
Okay.
So yeah, I think what might be, I gotta do. I don't want to. Maybe as I move up, I'd probably be like, as we move towards the tent, can I see if there's any movement coming from the tent, or is it still very still? As I travel up to it.
Okay. So, is the rest of the group coming with you, or is it just you heading out on your own to scout?
I'll come with you, but I'll stealth. Be extra sneaky.
I was gonna say, if people want to come with me, then it's fine. Yeah, I'm literally going to try and be a non-threatening. So like it'll be as I walk up, I might call out into the tent to see if there's anyone there.
Okay. So, Ott, with stealth, like the whole fucking world is heavily obscured. It's pitch black, so like yeah, you can absolutely just stealth and be trying to move silently. Are you staying near Yolya, or are you separating yourself from her?
I'll stay about 10 meters back.
Okay. So yeah, Yolya, you approach and like you're barely aware of Ott being there yourself, even though he's not making any attempt to hide from you, just because he is moving in perfect silence. But as soon as you call out, you immediately hear the ground all around you begin to rumble as what is essentially giant mushrooms like sprout up from the ground around you, surrounding you in a circle. And then the mushrooms sort of morph and like the base is split into like these root-like legs, and arms grow from them, and like strange, you can just about call them faces emerge. Like you can just about see where there are eyes, but there's the wrong number, and mouths, but they're not making any sound, appear on these mushroom men that are surrounding you. And you hear a voice in your mind, but it doesn't say anything in a language that either of you two would recognize, because there's no way in hell you guys know Myconid. I'm not even going to check your character sheets for that.
Yet. I'm a level down, I think, right now, still.
And as well, to sort of explain this language to you, it's not even a case of like, hey, it's speaking fantasy Spanish and you're not fluent in fantasy Spanish. It's like it's speaking a foreign language to you, and then you, like, if you were to play that foreign language backwards, it sounds super alien and weird. And like as soon as you call out, you also hear movement coming from the tent, but currently you are surrounded by these mushroom things, and like as long as you don't move, they also don't move. But what are you guys gonna do?
Not move.
So they've
move.
they've obviously said tried to say something in my mind, to us in my mind. Obviously some kind of telepathy. I try and reason say common. Do you speak common?
No response. And I think in the time it takes you to do that, a figure emerges from the tent. And I think by now you're probably relatively close to the tent. Like you're probably within, I don't know, 60 to 90 feet of this tent. So you would get an okay glimpse of the creature that emerges from this tent. It's definitely not human. It's got a humanoid-ish body dressed in robes, but you get a look at the head and it seems like horribly misshapen and elongated, and as it turns to face you, you see long tentacles and like coming from the bottom of its face. I'm gonna put a picture in the Discord so you guys will know what this thing looks like.
Oh, I can't wait for this.
Is it hand drawn by you, Logan?
No, it isn't. This is actually the picture from the monster manual.
I just had to click on the D&D and meme chat, didn't I?
Yeah, don't click on that
okay.
one.
Oh,
on
cursed.
stream.
No, it's all right.
It looks very
Cthulhu, then.
similar to that, except for the fact that there is one other thing. And it is in the middle of the forehead of this creature is a third eye. And it comes out and you hear a voice in your mind saying, no, wait. And then it gets a look at both of you guys and you hear, shit. And I think like this is probably a good point to pan back to the rest of the party. Like you guys have a view overlook. Yeah, you guys have a view overlooking this as your two friends have just got surrounded by mushrooms, and now a tentacle monster has come out and started running towards them. And then it's stopped and is staring at them.
Can we see it's got a third eye from where we are?
Yeah.
Wait,
I
so
was
you
gonna
could-
say.
You can see me, right?
Make a perception check. Yeah, he could see. You're not like you were trying to be quiet. You're still in the open and surrounded by all these things the same because you weren't
20
far away.
perception.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Hierarchin would definitely notice it and could point it out to the
Okay,
others.
I'll tell everyone else.
So yeah, you guys know what that third eye means by now. You've seen it a million times.
I'm gonna look at the bottle I'm drinking from and drop it on the floor.
Yes.
Okay. Are you guys doing anything, or are you just looking on in horror? What's going on?
I feel like if we try
horror.
and do anything, it might end up making things worse.
Okay.
If they're down there and we're like hanging back, if we do anything to alert them.
Bad guy.
Well, I think like
What's
as
everyone else?
Erlan drops his bottle on the ground, like where it lands,
no.
the ground like starts to shudder, and like a giant mushroom sprouts in front of you, and like half a dozen more mushrooms sprout around you guys and become these myconids, these strange mushroom people. And I want to like point this out. They are freakishly tall. They're like 12 feet tall and horribly like disproportioned. Like they're humanoid in the sense that they have 2 arms and 2 legs, and that's about it.
Wow.
Like these are very alien creatures. Probably so much so that it makes the tentacle-faced creature look humanoid by comparison.
Okay.
He
So
reminds me of the Ood. Not gonna
I
lie.
was going to say
Very
it
much
sounds like a
so.
Doctor Who.
They're
Doctor Who
both
enemy.
based on the same idea. In fact,
Oh.
I think the Ood may have been, or other way around. One
Probably
of them
stolen.
by the
I was
other.
gonna say Doctor Who is not original a lot of the time,
Yeah.
especially the new stuff.
Yeah, they're very much based on the same things.
I haven't even seen any of this
Is
stuff.
Awful, don't.
Oh,
So then,
But- Yeah, so I guess we'll pan back to Ott and Yolya as you hear this creature. It speaks telepathically in common in your minds as it sees you and locks eyes with you and just says, "Shit."
Yeah.
Is it
Listen,
gonna have
before-
the this is where
This is where the
You're wondering
credits
how I
roll,
got
the credit
here.
roll.
Yeah.
Opening credits roll. Yeah, so you guys, like, it says, all right, before anyone reaches for weapons or starts throwing punches here, and it, like, holds up both of its hands and looks at you, it's like, I didn't know you guys were coming. I'm going to level with you. I don't, I know who you are, obviously. I get the feeling that you guys have a vague idea of what I am.
Bad guy.
You're not there.
What?
You're up on
Yeah,
the hill
you
still.
yeah, you're
yeah,
you're
you
safe.
gotta hear this.
You're out of the way.
And I think like the myconids up on the hill with you guys would motion to like try and lead you down the hill if you guys want to go, or you can stay where you are. It's up to you.
That's
Whereas-
rather interesting how he says, "I know who you are." Yeah, obviously we would know who this guy was.
Well, I mean,
So-
you know the cult that he belongs to.
Yeah, the weird
You
eye
don't
cult.
recognize. Yeah, you don't
Yeah.
recognize this creature. You wouldn't recognize his
Yeah.
species. I don't think.
Yeah.
So, with that in mind, I ask, so why are you out here then? What on earth is someone of your background doing out in the middle of a mushroom forest?
I mean, look, I've got my own things. It's nothing to do with you. I'm not causing anyone any trouble here. Like, there's no people here for me to cause trouble for. I know the situation I'm in. I know who you guys are, and I mean, even with my spory friends here, I don't think I'd win that fight. So look, I don't want any trouble. Okay.
Fine. So what are you doing out here then?
I'd really
still haven't
rather
answered that.
not. Yeah, I'm intentionally trying to dodge your question, man.
Is he into
Um,
mushroom people? Is it something he doesn't want us to know about?
He's just harvesting the mushrooms
at
for
this po-
stew.
At this point, I also
Dirty
mentioned
mushroom.
the fact that there are a lot of dead orcs around the area.
Mm.
Yeah.
So it's a bit suspicious why you're out here saying you're trying not to do anything when there's a ton of dead orcs around.
I mean, like, they
They were
came
there when I got
here.
here.
Yeah. Well, no, they weren't there when I got here. They came afterwards, but it's, you know, they came and started attacking, and we defended ourselves. Like, we're not invading anywhere, we're not causing trouble for anyone, we're just out here doing our own thing.
That own thing that you won't tell us about, though.
Yeah, I
Why
wonder
did
why,
they do
dude. You have a nasty reputation.
Says the guy from a cult where they get turned into grotesque eyeball monsters.
I
For
take
a guy,
offense at that. Okay,
I mean,
I was
for a guy
born
who
this
is
way.
quite. What?
What?
I'm not talking. I'm talking about the goddamn cult god that you follow.
I mean, like,
You do know what that eye does, right?
yeah, I know what we do. Like, I know what we have a very different perspective on that than you guys seem to have. Okay,
I mean, your god
like
guy,
that's something that we're signing up for.
the destruction of worlds.
So you're fully fine with it?
He's not
You're
going to
fully- you're-
destroy the world. That's not why he's here.
But it will destroy the world. He wants to consume all knowledge, right? That's the answer. That's his reasoning. Listen, we've had this conversation with him directly because he has attempted to try and coerce us onto his side, which obviously you can tell has failed.
Yeah.
What is this?
Yeah, I
What
got.
is-
I don't know. This one isn't. This is probably not the right thing for this. Hang on. Oh, that's the wrong fucking chat. Hang on. There we go.
Is that a song for him questioning his?
Definitely not. Definitely not. What have we got? What have we got? Alright, fuck it. This one will do. We've used this playlist before, but
it's just because it quite literally turned into this proper like style. I was like, is this really the right thing to be playing? Anyway,
okay.
So yeah, he wants to consume all knowledge. That will probably end
Consume
up.
knowledge is a real nasty word that you're putting on us here. Okay, he just wants to see everything. All right, he's got the same curiosity that we all have. All right, that's not. That's not necessarily an evil thing. Trying to learn things.
Bring him into this world will quite literally destroy it. And
No,
possibly
it would.
other worlds.
It would change the world. Okay.
Can I see us right now?
You're throwing around the word destroy pretty liberally here. I'm not really here to debate the ethics of my own actions or the actions of my patron. You guys just sort of showed up on my doorstep here.
I mean, you knew we were coming. Or
I had no idea you were coming. He might have known, but he certainly didn't tell me.
can I see us now?
Would you have been here? Would you have been here if he told you?
If he told me to stay here, yes. But I would have been more ready for you.
So why are you out here then?
I'm not going to answer that question.
Why not? It's a harmless answer, just like
You're not my friends.
That's
Like,
rude.
you've killed a lot of people who, I mean, I guess they were acquaintances at best, but we're part of the same team and you've killed them. I'm not gonna just tell you my life story.
We were defending ourselves. They attacked
Defend
first.
yourself somewhere else. Go away from my house.
Your house is a tent.
It's a nice tent.
You live under a giant.
I can't
ocean.
exactly go live in a city, can I?
No, that's true. I mean, well, others did.
They weren't Illithid, so
You mean weird tentacle-based
all right.
people?
I take offense at that. We have a name.
Well, you didn't tell me that. What is your name? Yeah, I'm sure you already know.
My
ours.
name, or the species that I am.
How about both?
Logan needs to look at his fucking name. There we go. Well, my name is Zolt.
Who's this Logan you speak of?
Who's Logan?
My
Zolt.
name is Zolt. And
Do you go good on salad?
No, Zolt with a Z. And my species, we call ourselves Illithid.
Are
You might call us something different.
Cthulhu.
Are they mind flayers?
They're mind flayers.
I fucking knew it.
Yeah, they're mind flayers. They eat brain.
Yeah, so that would be why there's something that's being like sucking out the brains of orcs, then, eh?
I don't think Yolya would know what a mind
No,
flayer
I'm just saying that.
is.
I'm saying that
But
out of
yeah.
character.
Out of
But I know what
character.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could
Doing
make an Arcana
research and
check.
stuff.
You could make an Arcana check.
Oh, 14, probably not.
Nope. Nah. They're not planar, is the thing.
So again, I point out, never seen anyone of your kind. Why are you
Yeah.
out here?
Well, I mean, this is where.
Are you from this world?
Yeah, I live here. I was born. Well, not here specifically, but down here. I guess like your view of the world is, I assume, quite limited. Given what I know about you, you're quite new to this world, and I mean, it's not all just dwarves and lights down here. There's a big wide world, and it's lived in by a lot of strange creatures.
So
Some of them are friendly, and some of them would eat you for breakfast.
So my other question is why are you living with these? Would you know what the creatures, the Myconid are, or would it be?
You've been told what a Myconid is. You've been told
Okay,
from
so-
different people.
So
You don't know much about them, but you'd know. This.
I
is
know that
probably
that the
Myconid.
species name is Myconid.
Yes.
So yeah. So my question would be, why are you with the Myconids and instead of with your own people?
I mean, they're as in with Illithid or
Elephants,
with
yeah,
the rest of the
and that, and with the cult.
Well, the answer is pretty different to both of those. Who's to say that there aren't other members of my group around? But with regards to other Illithid, they don't take kindly to magic.
Okay.
They have their own thing going on, and when you start worshipping otherworldly creature that isn't their specific chosen otherworldly creature, and it starts giving you forbidden magic powers, you sort of have to make a decision about new living arrangements.
So, firstly, for your question of like, how do we know there's no one else around? You literally saw us and said shit in our mind. We know there's no one else around. It's you and the Myconids. There's no way of getting around that.
I mean, right here.
Yes.
I am the only member of our particular organization.
So why aren't you with the rest of them?
I have my own duties. They have theirs.
Are your own duties the reason why you are so secretive about what you're doing?
I have No, the reason I'm so secretive is because you keep killing people in my organization.
I mean, you give
I'm
us good reason
to
to.
be honest,
You do
I
very,
was
very,
expecting
very
you to have
evil
attacked
things.
me.
I mean,
Look,
you've given me no reason yet, other than the fact that you're part of this cult. But I mean, that's not. Yeah, that's here or there.
Normally people don't even need that much reason. Like, I meet one of you snacks, and they go, "Oh,
sorry, what was
mind
that?
flayer." What? Sorry, what? Hello? They go, mind flayer, and draw swords, and I kill them and eat them.
Snacks.
That's rude.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. Do the whatever you eat call you an asshole, bird person?
Person.
All right.
Bird person.
Like the worms like you. I am what I am.
That's
That's
that
racist.
is that's racist.
Yes, it is racist. Yes, it is.
We haven't been
Yeah.
racist to you. How dare
Yes.
you?
How
This has
dare you
given us
be-
more reason to attack.
I'm about to have a PewDiePie bridge moment right now.
Oh
Calm down.
god.
No.
I mean, this guy.
It's like, look, all right, give me a second. I'll speak to the Myconids. If you guys promise you're not going to attack anything, myself included, I can call them off.
We should just fucking kill this guy. He's not a good person.
We could do.
No, he's not a good
No.
person.
Stab him
No,
in the
he's not
eye.
a good-
The third
He's
eye.
a mind flayer. He's lawful evil. I'll tell you that for free. He eats brains, but he's not harming any people.
He just killed
He's
this
not
fucking
harming any.
orc.
Not harming any people. Orcs aren't people, apparently. That's racist.
Wow.
Wow. I speak orc and I take
Gee,
offense to
no,
that.
no, no.
Yeah, you know, equality's good, guys. You know.
That's
Fair.
another check mark for kill guy. we're
Fair
at 3
point.
now.
If you're
Who's gonna
going
say
to
Rose?
join the side of the invading orcs, yeah.
So why did all these orcs die here? Just 'cause you're hungry or because they attacked you? What happened?
I mean, like, I can eat. I don't necessarily need to eat brains, but it's nice when they're present.
I could stop any time.
But you know, it's handy when I'm able to. And they happened to invade, and they happened to start causing trouble here, and we defended ourselves. And I may once or twice have taken the opportunity to have a little snack.
What's wrong
You
with
know
these
what I would
mushrooms
say?
then?
Yeah,
Say
this
again,
guy-
sorry, Rob.
What's wrong with eating mushrooms then?
Those are people.
Yeah, so are orcs.
The mushrooms are nice. They're not attacking me.
Your logic. I love it.
You know what I would say about this guy? He's a real piece of work. That's what I'd say.
You guys are awfully hostile towards this evil creature, which is a member of the enemy faction. Weird.
I wonder why.
I wonder why.
Why is he friends with mushroom people?
You wouldn't mind if we looked through your little tent here?
I would mind if you looked through my tent, in fact.
Would that
Yeah,
then
go
give
on.
us reason to attack you? Is that the reason you don't want us looking?
No, it's because that's, like, my fucking place that I live, and you're not my friends. You're not welcome here, okay? If you want to camp out and then get lost, then fine, but...
I'm really
What?
tempted to dimension door straight into there.
I was going to say charm him. Become his friend.
I mean, is everyone ready? If I do this, is everyone ready to roll initiative?
Oh my god.
I
This
don't
poor
reckon
guy.
that.
Okay.
You say poor guy, he's literally a mind flayer.
If we cut his eye off, does he live?
Yeah.
He's living on his own in the woods. I don't think he's.
He would
causing
not
trouble.
let you do that.
Okay.
You
You
would
just
have
do
to
it.
actually, like, fight him and fucking cut his eye off.
Because, like,
We've done it.
I don't necessarily want to kill him, but he's
just
got a
ask
big
him
old
to give
eye
us
on
his
his
eye.
chest. Yeah.
I do. I want to kill this guy. He's a fucking mind flayer.
How do you feel about gouging that third eye out and handing it over to us?
Not great. Gonna level with you. If you tried, I would. I mean, I wouldn't kill all of you, but
Right,
Right.
I
let me
wouldn't go down
let me
on my
try
own.
with persuasion.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on. Phrase that nicely.
Give me your fucking eye.
No, it won't be persuasion check. It will be an intimidation check.
Yeah.
I'm gonna intimidate him by saying, if you don't give us this eye, we're gonna fucking kill you and all these mushrooms who live here.
Bringing
Oh,
the
lucky,
mushrooms into this, are you?
lucky. Yes. Whew.
Why is this bad guy so polite?
I'm gonna roll.
He doesn't want to
Okay.
start a ruckus.
Because Logan wants to make us feel
Lucas.
bad for killing him.
No, Logan has no skin in this game. All right, you do what you do. He has. Okay. He says, "Look, if you guys fight me, you will most likely win. You will most likely kill all of these creatures and their sovereign. But we will kill at least one of you. And I don't mean
I doubt it.
hurt you badly. I mean you will die and I will eat your brain."
You won't have time to eat our brain.
Ot's safe from
Yes.
all this.
We've took on worse before.
Look, you'll win the fight, but it will cost you. And there's just no need for you to fight me.
Dimension door.
Tell us why you're out here, and we won't bother fighting you then.
I'm not going to tell you what I'm doing here.
Why?
I've made that very clear.
Your eye has
So
you
we all roll
possessed.
persuasion.
Like, you
So
have no authority over me. I have no reason to answer you.
So if we made friends with you, you'd tell us.
If you tell us and we then leave you alone, is that a deal? It's just really peculiar to have one person out here on their own with a bunch of myconids.
Hmm.
That's part of
Alright,
this call
fine.
that we're trying to stop.
Fine. You want to make that deal? If you promise that you are going to leave immediately, not even stay the night, just get lost and go, I will tell you what I'm doing here. Deal? No more questions asked. I tell you and you leave immediately.
I still want to know what's in your tent, but
I'm not
mean,
letting you in my tent.
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that deal, personally,
Dimension
guys.
door.
Anyone else? Shut up, Nick.
Do you have dimension door?
I have dimension door.
I got some sort of teleportation spell and when I leveled up, didn't I?
he's got tissues on the floor. Suspicious tissues on the floor.
Did he forget to close his laptop? He doesn't want
Filthy
to-
orc mags.
More.
Horde of orcs.
Are we going to take this guy's offer?
Yes, okay.
Yeah. Let's find out what
Why
he's
not?
doing. It's
We're
a
only
weird
passing
thing.
through anyway.
Yeah, we're just
Okay.
on our way somewhere else.
He says, okay, fine, I'll tell you. Zernas is interested in knowledge. You guys are well aware of that by now.
Yeah.
And these myconids, they are essentially a sort of shamanistic race. They have their own cultures and their own practices, and they pursue enlightenment in their own way. Zernas wanted to know more about that and more about these creatures, and so he's had me here studying them and learning their ways and learning alongside them. Are you happy
Boring.
now?
That's
Yeah,
so
I
boring.
told you I wasn't hurting anybody. And then
Well,
you
why-
guys...
Why didn't you want to tell us that? Because
Yeah,
that's-
Because
we-
you keep
like,
killing
follow.
people from my organization. You're
But
not
that
my
isn't
friend.
killing
Yeah.
people.
Because they're killing people. We
If
kill
anything,
people who
You
try
made
to
us
kill
more
us.
suspicious. You made
Yeah.
us suspicious of you, and you made us almost fight you because you refused to tell us something so simple and straightforward that doesn't even
If you're just doing research, whatever.
matter to
I
us.
mean, you're not hurting these people. You've
We'll
been
leave
attacked,
you.
self-defended, whatever. You might have a big eye in your head, but you're not gonna. You'll give him this information. It's not going to help him because we're going to beat him. We know that. Bye.
Oh,
Is that it? Do we leave?
Later, tater.
DM rolled.
So, what are you guys doing? Are you just turning to leave immediately, or what?
mean-
Like he looks furious at you.
Yeah, I flipped
Yeah,
them
we
off.
tell him it's a
Tentacles
deal.
twitching.
We go, a deal's a deal. We'll leave, like
Yeah.
we said.
Okay.
We're just
Uh,
upset that you took so long to
I still don't
answer that.
understand.
Such a question that realistically, in the end, he might be doing research. At least we know that. But
As you guys turn to leave, you feel the ground tremble as something enormous comes up over the hill. You guys, those of you with dark vision, would be able to get a very easy view of this because it's huge. It's a giant. You're not 100% sure what kind of giant, but you do see several enormous mushrooms growing out of its brain and growing out of its head. And it appears to be carrying the wriggling form of an orc. And it, drags this, struggling orc down and, walks towards the village with it. And it doesn't seem to say anything, but
Is it
all of
conscious?
the Myconid dies. The giant or the orc, or what? The orc appears to be struggling desperately.
Okay.
Oh,
So what are the
odds-
what are the Myconids doing over this? Are they what you were about to say something?
It seems kind of hard to tell what they're doing. If you had to guess, you would say they're communicating telepathically. Like, they are looking at this thing, and it's not like they're making movements of nodding, like, yes, meh, meh, meh. But this giant creature is moving towards
Are
the
they
group.
panicking
Nope,
visibly?
Nope, this seems like the situation is under control.
Okay.
The mushroom giant is dragging a struggling orc towards the group.
I turn to to Zolt and I say, is he the chief?
Eat dinner.
I thought we agreed no more questions. I would like you to leave now.
Is he
If
not the
we-
chief?
if
We were about to. And
Hold on. We leave safely. This big giant mushroom-looking thing.
I have no intention of involving myself any further with you. You can leave. And I think, like, during that time, the giant has sort of brought this thing all the way over the hill and to the little encampment and to the group of Myconids who are now holding down this orc, and it's like just buried underneath them. You can't even see it through it. But you hear the sounds of a struggle and of this thing like desperately struggling, and then it goes quiet. And this orc is now lying down, completely pacified, seemingly unharmed.
For now. Hmm.
And the giant turns around and begins walking off back the way it came.
So he's serving him, that giant.
The giant seems to be serving the Myconids. Like, it's got a giant mushroom growing out of its head. It bought them an orc.
Why would it bring them an orc is the question.
Again, this orc seems like it's injured and on the verge of starving.
I run over.
He's got a
How close
tasty
is he?
brain.
It's near, right next to you, man. You can run
Cool.
over. It's within 30 feet, I'd say.
Okay, yeah, I'll slap him and shout, "Wake up!" in Orcish.
No response. And
Damn it.
Zolt calls out to you telepathically again and says, I'm pretty sure that we had an agreement and you guys were going to leave.
Yeah, we're leaving.
This is our own thing to deal with.
We're leaving with this orc.
No, that wasn't the agreement.
I've got an idea. I've got programmed illusion, so I could call in a giant fucking dragon illusion to come, and we could use that as an intimidation.
I need to look at mind flayers.
I could also use hill giants. Oh wait, no. Oh, wait. I backtracked. Never mind. Let me check.
That's the wrong stuff. Like, there it is. Well, like, yeah, what do you guys want to do? Nothing is stopping you from walking away, but there's clearly more to this situation.
That meets
Like,
the eye.
If you want to investigate more, you can do, or you can walk away. It's up to you.
Could we pretend to walk away and then actually go to another vantage point and see what's going on?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Again,
I mean,
leave as far as he thinks we've actually left, and then sort of loop back on ourselves. So
Yeah.
we could spy on him or something.
yeah, definitely, you are able to do that. You still have this persistent feeling of being watched. Like, that has never left you, this like paranoid feeling that there are eyes on you at the moment. But yeah, you can absolutely just be like, okay, cool, we leave, and just like go over the hill and go like an hour's travel away and then loop back around, you're entirely welcome to do that.
Can you use your illusion to make it think that we've walked away?
And then what? Just stay where we were.
I have the group stealth spell.
Yeah, you do have the spell which would improve everyone's stealth.
I can go
Yeah,
invisible.
but you wouldn't want to use that when we were leaving though, because then they might not actually see
No,
us
I'm
going.
saying use an illusion so that they think we've left, but we've hidden.
But you have in fact like looped back around, is
Gone
what
to
you're
hide
saying.
somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
March through his tent. Say, we're leaving this way.
Shall we hide under the blanket in his bed or something?
Go past
In the
that tray.
tent.
Yeah, that is something that you can use. Like, I want to know what the group is doing first, and then like, if and when you guys leave, then yeah, you can absolutely pass without a trace. Like that's what it's for.
I think it's smart to
I think
yeah.
do
If we look as if we leave,
Okay.
and then go into like into stealth, and then look
Mhm.
like loop around somewhere else to a new vantage point to lock in on what's going on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, first of all, like, how far away are you guys? Like, going away like an hour's travel, or
I'm
how
not
far are you guys
sure.
going?
I'm not sure if it'll even matter, because if we've got the sense that we're being watched all the time, chances are we probably are being watched all the time,
probably know
and
where we
it's
are anyway.
Mr. I see everything can still pass on the information to that bloke that we haven't left.
Maybe we could test that theory by going just out of his range of sight and then staying somewhere and see if anything happens to us.
It's the mushrooms that see us.
Yeah, I agree with Sarah. It's the mushrooms. They're obviously appearing from underground. They've got a tremor sense similar to, well, they must have a tremor sense maybe similar to how elementals have. I'd say it's them telepathically telling this Zolt what's going on
Mhm.
with us.
What are you guys doing?
I think we fight this thing.
One of us will probably
There's no way
die.
us just leaving something like this just. Yeah.
I knew we
I
should.
just think we're making a big mistake just fucking off and leaving this thing to.
I knew we should have brought a random villager along with us. If one of us is certain to die, let it be random villager number 7.
They'd probably one-shot it and then kill another of us anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, they would
Yeah.
totally one shot.
Zolt, like, I think you guys have good enough like passive intimidation. Like, sorry, not passive insight, that like you guys would be able to tell Zolt was attempting to scare you off with that. He's not 100% certain he could even kill one of you, but he's definitely trying to make that threat of like, if you fight, there's going to be blood.
Mm.
His blood.
Like, whenever, well, yeah, he's saying he will definitely die if you fight him. Like, there's no chance that you lose this fight, but there is a big chance, and he's going to do everything he possibly can to kill at least one of you. Bearing in mind, this is a creature that knows you quite well, and you are in his territory.
Kill him.
So that's the threat that he's trying to make to you guys.
Raid his hut and fight him.
Why are we so obsessed with his his tent? I don't
There's
even know
something
what.
in there. There is something in there. That is why.
I want to know what
It's my
filthy
way of
stuff he's been watching.
He's told you what he's doing. Smile.
Or has he?
He's,
That could have
he's
just been-
doing research.
Smile.
He doesn't tell us what the research was.
He said he was trying to reach enlightenment, or learn how these creatures reach enlightenment,
But he's a bad guy.
because Zernas is interested.
I was gonna say that sounds like
You
a
are
bad guy. That sounds
but
like a
you are
very
not
bad thing
bad
to say.
guy.
That sounds like something we should not be able to let happen from people who we don't think he's a good guy anyway. But reaching enlightenment tends to suggest a massive increase in power.
Yeah.
I really think we should kill this guy.
You really want to kill him, don't you?
Yep.
Do it. Pull his eyeball out.
Does he become weaker if he doesn't have that eye?
No, he can turn into a monster if he has it in.
Yeah.
Right.
And
So
he'll probably try and. We can't just go grab it, can we? We have to like at least damage
Restrain
him
him.
to a certain extent.
can we
Yeah,
restrain
you
him?
would have to restrain him and rip the eye out of his skull, and he's going to do everything physically possible to stop you from doing that.
Pretty sure Art's got a
I wonder
net.
if
Yeah.
there's some way of. Is there some way of getting these mushroom people to join our cause and
We
try
can't
and
speak to
fight
them.
alongside us?
We can't speak to them, no.
We could.
So when we
silence-
attack this guy, he's gonna start saying that. We've got and there's a giant as well. I just realised.
Oh, yeah.
So
And there's a giant. Can we get the giant on our side?
He
The
walked off.
giant, yeah.
We can
The
talk to the
giant's not
giant,
far
right?
away. The giant was starting to walk off, and I'm like assuming that while this is happening, time is paused because otherwise you guys have spent 10 minutes stood around whispering at one another, looking back over your shoulders at him, whispering to one another,
That's exactly
looking
what
back
we
over your.
do.
I'm assuming this conversation is meta game.
yeah,
Yeah.
metagame.
Or it's all just happening in like super slow motion.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Or we're
I-
discussing it with him there. He's like, please don't kill me.
yeah.
I think with the knowledge there is this giant within range. It would be very dangerous to attack. These are, mind flayer, these myconids. God knows how many more there are actually, because he's only a few of them showed up. Plus a giant is a lot to try and deal with.
Mhm.
The only way we would realistically be able to move through this encounter correctly now would probably be to
we could leave and come back,
try
which
and do
will
it- try
be...
and do it stealthily, or we just leave it on. Because the problem is even though we don't know what he's doing, we don't know. We have no idea with the orcs, because if they, some of them have been attacked by magic and others have been eaten, they could be attacking. Orcs are known to do that. Orcs are raiding bands. It's what they're known for. So they
Good.
quite have easily could have come into this area, aggressively and attacked. It might be that they're getting, but with the fact that they've got this orc, it could be that there's an orc band, an orc band nearby that was camping and they've killed it, but we
Okay.
don't know.
If I go
Hello.
invisible and then
Yep.
dimension door behind him and just slit his throat, do we have to roll initiative?
The second you went invisible, yes, we would be rolling initiative. Also, you don't really have the ability to just assassinate people. You're not a rogue, and you're not an
Yeah.
assassin type rogue.
Mm.
Like,
Even Art
you
doesn't
can
do
definitely go
assassinations.
invisible. You don't know, no, you would have to choose assassin as your archetype. You chose arcane trickster.
Yeah.
But also, you don't know what this thing is capable of. You don't know whether it could still see you while you're invisible. You don't know how well these do these myconids have tremor sense? Is there some other way that they're able to tell where you are? Is there some other way that they're watching you? You don't know how detailed that information is. So I can't tell you a yes or no answer on that.
I mean, they knew where Silent Art was.
I mean, you were 10 meters away from someone who was shouting their location, and you weren't hiding behind something, you were moving silently.
Okay.
Yolya kind of gave away your position there.
What are we doing, guys?
We're going to end up rolling initiative, aren't we?
If you want to start a fight, yeah.
With him and a giant.
And potentially some other things.
Telling you
This
what,
is
this
what
music
I
does
mean.
help.
This is what I think we move away from this encounter to begin with, and then come back. I know it sounds
Wait for
stupid.
things to
Not-
die down a bit. And
not
wait for the
everything-
dragon to leave. The giant to leave.
Not everything has to be dead by our hands.
Yeah.
As if
It's
You
right. We
can
could just
walk
we could
away.
just wait.
We could just walk
Nothing
away.
is stopping you. You could.
but Logan wants us to
Is that
stay and fight. I can tell.
Logan has no skin in this game. You guys are the
Right,
ones
why you
making the
set this
story.
up?
right?
Yeah, sure.
I agree. I don't think it's even worth it. The time, the resources.
Yeah.
It's one call. It's on his fucking own. Yeah, of course.
The
we
fact
spoke-
that one of us is going to die.
And we
Well,
would also
confirm
commit
that-
genocide.
It's a
that
threat.
going to die thing could just been a threat.
Yeah.
But the fact that we have seen a giant, the fact that the Myconids are working with this guy, and the giant is working with them, makes me uneasy
Yeah.
to try and take this fight. If there was no giant, I'd be more like, oh, it should probably work. But
Mhm.
add a giant into a mind flayer and God knows how many Myconids plus anything else that we've not even seen, it's not worth it. It's not worth the risk.
What happened to the wriggling orc?
He's out cold.
He's lying there on the ground. You're
he
not
dead?
even sure he's breathing.
Someone go and give him a potion.
Can I check him again? Even-
Check his pulse.
I'm going to
You
make a
think-
persuasion check.
So Ott is already stood over the orc, given what you did before.
Yeah.
You can check his pulse. He has a pulse, but he is not breathing.
Oh.
What does that mean?
Mouth to mouth?
I do not recommend that.
Mouth to mouth with
There's
an
a
orc.
high chance he's just had a ton of spores filled into him.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. I mean, I speak orc. Can I breathe orc?
That's the dumbest thing that I've heard you say, and I've heard you say some dumb things.
Yes!
Let's hat back on.
Again, I will reiterate, I do not feel good about this fight, knowing there's a giant around the corner.
Yeah.
I would
Not everything
rather-
has to
I
die.
feel
I
it's
think we
just-
should focus on the big, scary, I can see everything man than all of his little minions that are meaningless. And I shout that. I'm saying this in character so you can hear
Are you
me.
guys having the are you having this conversation in character? Because I said like time is freezing.
Okay.
But, like,
No, but Ott
there's
says
a
that.
limit to
Parts
that.
of this
What
in
are you
character.
guys
I-
doing? Because you guys can discuss this forever.
Can
What are you
I
guys
make a
doing?
persuasion check to see if we can take this orc with us?
He won't accept that.
How are you
How
going to be
would
able
you persuade him? Okay, like what would you tell him? What would you say to him?
I think the thing is, what we're going to say is, I think we both know that we're very willing to go down with the fight, both sides. This orc guy seems to be no trouble to you anymore. If you let us take him, we'll take him to the local. We're on our way to the citadel. We'll send him there for attacking a minor species. But you leave this guy alone. Then no blood needs to be shed today past what has already been done.
Okay, sure. Make your persuasion check. 32. Okay, that seems like Erland numbers.
Uh,
How are you?
that's
going
I get a 13, so plus 13, so that's 18 roll.
to- 19.
Wait, what?
You rolled a
No,
19.
19.
It says
Goddamn.
32 on my screen. Is that from
Yeah,
a
it's
different
32,
persuasion
but
check?
base roll.
Okay.
He,
Oh,
he rolled a 19 plus 13.
Wow.
Well, okay. So, Zolt looks at you and says, I don't know what you're hoping to get from that orc. Even if you do take him away from here, he will likely not stay with you. He belongs to the Myconids now. He will die in a few days. There is very little you could do to save him.
It's all the spores, isn't it?
I won't stop you if you want to take him.
So that means it's
Fuck
not
you, I
important
rolled
to him.
well.
point?
Yeah, that's why he's agreeing to this. He's saying he won't stop you, but this creature belongs to the Myconids.
Yeah, so it's nothing.
Can I check
of
if he's got
importance to him.
Can I check if he's got a
I think-
special eye on him as well?
I think we take
This
him out
creature-
back.
This orc does not.
Okay.
He's an orc.
I think we
wanna
take
take
him
the
out
orc?
back and old yell at him. To be honest.
He's already gonna die. What's the point?
Yeah, but something about he belongs to the Myconids now screamed of another orc joining the Myconid army.
He's
Ah.
gonna be a zombie.
Because he's filled with fecking spores. What do you expect's gonna happen?
What
Even
are
if
you guys
kill
doing?
him,
Are
them
you taking
spores
the
are still
orc and
gonna-
leaving? What are you doing?
he's okay with it, doesn't mean the Myconids are. We just leave it. Seriously, guys.
Would
just
this
leave
guy
it.
be willing
Is there
to
any point of
spark a
taking
fight?
this orc?
No, just
What would we do
at
with
this
it?
point, nothing. We can't do anything. None of us have any kind of realistic idea of how to fix whatever issue is wrong with him now at this point. We're filled with spores that we have no clue with, probably. We're not even sure if he's filled with spores. We just know he's
sounds like a bad idea.
alive but not breathing, which makes no sense. None of us have.
I just think there's
have
information to
knowledge.
be gained from that orc. Even
Oh,
if he's
yeah.
not alive for long.
How are we going to get that information? Do you have the ability to see into his past life?
Can you
Someone has
read?
the ability to read minds in the party.
Mind read?
Someone in the party has that ability.
Nick, is it?
Healing.
No?
And then
Is it-
he
is
might
it-
be
is it
able to
I don't know.
stay
It's a
alive
guess.
enough.
I've
I could be wrong.
got detect thoughts. If that would do anything.
Read what detect thoughts does.
It says you can read the thoughts of certain creatures. When you cast the spell as your action, you can focus your mind on any creature within 30 feet. If it has an intelligence of 3 or lower or doesn't speak any language, then the creature is unaffected.
And I can also do message, which will send him information to respond
all.
back with in thoughts.
Yeah, that's a telepathy ability.
Do we
So-
know its intelligence score?
It'll have a higher.
orcs,
It'll be higher than 3.
orcs have definitely a higher intelligence than 3. They're capable of speaking, like they have a language in a society.
I mean,
Intelligence of 3 is stuff like slimes, like mindless stuff.
could I cast it now without them realizing I've casted a spell?
No. I'm gonna save you that time right now. There's like what is it? Is verbal and does it say components VS or something?
I don't see anything like that.
Let me open up your character sheet. So like on the
So
actual
school,
spell it'll say like
divination,
components and
target.
then
Oh, VSM.
yeah, there we go. So it's got verbal components to the spell, somatic as in gestures, and material components to the spell.
Okay, so
It
there's
is
no way.
very
hiding that I'm
obvious
doing
you
that.
would be casting a spell.
Okay.
What about?
If you were to like if you had that ability as meta magic and like you spent sorcery points, then you would be able to like make it a subtle spell and that
How about-
removes those things, but I don't know if you have
How
that
about
meta
if I
magic or
cast
not.
it on the exact same time that we start to leave, and everyone else just shouts up and goes, "Bye, see you guys, see ya," and I'm just
Yeah.
going, "Detect your
Sure.
thoughts."
I mean, you
Try
could
and drown
like
it out that way.
he's
The
not
problem is we
going
wanna
to
keep this
stop you
guy.
if you want to take the
Why?
yeah.
Drag him
If
away
you
with
want
us.
to take the orc away, he's not going to stop you. You could take him away.
So we
and
take
then
the orc
detect
away and
thoughts
then
on him.
cast the spell.
Yeah.
on
That's
Yeah,
what I'm
let's
thinking.
do
He's
that
not going to
then.
stop us.
They're okay with us taking him,
He said, well, he said he's okay.
and then we can still come back and spy on him.
I
later,
doubt
they
that,
know that.
but Alex, I doubt if he says he won't stop, that the shrooms are going to turn around and fight us. Because that guy doesn't want to put himself in harm's way. He's made it very clear so far
Yeah.
that he knows that he'll die if he does anything. So as much as he's, he'll take one of us down with him, he doesn't want to die himself. He's very much on the defensive. He's not on the offensive.
Mhm. So, is that what you guys are doing? You're taking this creature and going, and how far are you going? What are you doing? Because we've talked around in circles for a little while.
Yeah.
It sounds like you guys have had planning time. What is the group doing?
Take this orc away and use that detect
Yeah.
thought spell on him. I think.
Okay, how far are you going? Like a few hours, a day? What?
Well, they
Depends
did
on
say
if
it
we
would.
come back or not. To
Let's go about an hour.
about an hour.
Yeah.
Or something.
Okay. So yeah, you get like a few hills in between you
Yeah.
and this camp, and I think it's probably about that time that this creature begins to stir. Its eyes open and it looks at you with a vacant expression. Doesn't really seem to do anything. It sort of looks back in the direction of where you guys came from in the camp. And it looks at you, and it just seems to have a completely expressionless face.
Um,
Has it got a chest burster?
I think maybe now would be a smart time to talk about doing the mind read thing, doesn't it? See if you
Yeah.
can.
Do we want to try and talk to it first? Because I guess its thoughts would just be based on
What he's
what
thinking.
we were asking it. So
Mm.
you can't really just go into his mind and find out anything straight away, can you? I presume.
I believe the spell says that like they get a saving. You can just read their surface thoughts as is, but you can they can make a saving throw if you try to delve deeper into their mind, and that's when like you could search through memories and all stuff like that. So
Right. Okay.
so what are you doing? It's just looking at you. It's not doing anything.
Does it have any
It doesn't
thought?
even look. It doesn't even look curious at you. It just looks like its eyes are unfocused.
Can we try talking to it first? Make sure it's actually conscious. You don't want to read its mind and just find out it's just gibberish.
Well,
I mean,
someone in the party is able to speak Orcish.
Yeah, hello. It is me.
Hello. How you doing, mate?
You're with us. Hello. Testing 1, 2. Do your ears work? What do we want to ask him? Just straight off the bat, or
Just
Say
see if he
something,
can actually
Rob.
answer you first. See if he's actually conscious.
ask him how many fingers you're holding up.
yeah. How many fingers am I holding up?
You speak to it in Orcish. It seems to have enough of a mind that it registers that you are speaking to it, and it looks at you, but it does not respond in any way, and like its facial expression doesn't change in any way.
Just give him some water or something. I don't know.
We've got a dud, guys.
So
But you need to check if it actually has a mind, that actually has any thought.
it
Yeah.
seems to like be capable of understanding that a creature is speaking to it, and it
Shall I,
looks at
If
you.
I
That's like
message
it's
him,
responding, but
if I message him, will he respond to that differently than if I spoke to him physically?
you can try it. Do you want to?
Yeah.
Okay, sure. What are you saying in the message?
I was gonna say, what was the last thing you remember?
Silence.
Damn it.
I mean, I can try cast and detect thoughts because it's only
Okay.
level 2, so I can cast it more than once anyway, can't I?
Okay.
If it
Yeah, you can.
didn't do anything well this time.
So you cast detect thoughts, yes?
Yeah. There you go. I
Okay.
pressed it.
Mark off the spell slot first of all.
Yeah.
You can tell this creature does still have a mind, but that mind is very rapidly being erased.
Okay.
You
so,
do not have long if you want to try and delve deeper into this thing's thoughts, but it currently has no surface thoughts whatsoever.
Nothing at all. So if Rob asks it again, like, what happened? What was the last thing you remembered? Does it just not? Can I just not
There's
detect any?
Head empty, no thoughts. If you
Thoughts at
tried to
all.
delve deeper into its mind, you might get something, but you would have to do that now.
Okay, let's go for it.
Okay, so what does it say on the spell?
Um,
Like, what saving throw do I have to make?
Hold on, I can't see that.
I've
No, I don't think it's there. Oh, hold on. Yeah, the scroll bar didn't show up.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's not.
Yeah,
showing up.
sometimes it does bug out like
As an
that.
action, you can either shift your attention of a creature
I can
or
see- I
make an
can see
attempt to
it
delve
now.
into the creature's mind. If you probe deeper, the target must make a wisdom saving throw. If it fails, you gain insight into its reasoning, if any, the emotional strain, something that looms large in its
Something
mind,
it
such as
worried
something it
over.
worries, loves, or hates. Okay? If it succeeds, the spell ends. Either way, the target knows that you're probing into its mind unless you shift your attention to another creature's force. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. So, I will make a saving throw. I don't expect to succeed it. This thing wasn't smart even before it got its mind eaten. Yeah, no, that fails. So, you delve deeper into its mind and you find just the last vestiges of this creature's consciousness. Some of its most pressing memories. You see this orc was like on watch in like an orcish encampment. They had like their own small fortifications and wooden structures when when suddenly just like fire started raining down on them from spells. The memories go blank for several minutes, and you see this orc's perspective as it is running away from the ruins of its village, and you see a mind flare. You see what is most likely Zolt walking through the ruins of the village. It grabs an orc as it tries to escape and drags them away. And also you see several other people of various different races, all dressed in similar robes to Zolt.
I
And you expect
fucking knew it.
same
Okay.
cult. Also, you would
And
probably.
this is quite a
I think
recent memory as well.
this is the most pressing memory, and you are able to get sort of a vague idea of time. This is probably a few days to a week ago,
Okay.
and you might be able to get a location. You know that it's somewhere north of here.
Was there any landmarks or anything we could spot from that memory that we could try and look for?
There's probably not enough of a mind. If you were to like search the area, you may find a way of finding orcs. You may find orc tracks or something, but like there's no like, yes, there is the giant orc skull of rock. That is what you would recognize Orc Village by. But if you were to get near enough to the village to lay eyes on it, you would like they can't just erase all traces of a village having existed.
Yeah.
So if you want, you now have a vague direction and something to look for, but you get the idea that this is why the orcs are probably starving, and you get some idea of what Zolt has been doing. Interestingly enough, you didn't see any Myconids in the attack.
Very strange.
You just saw these cultists.
Okay.
I say we head to the village.
Yep.
Okay.
Go to the room and see if we can find anything else.
This orc doesn't make any attempt to follow you at all. If you want to take it with you, it won't resist. But it doesn't seem intent to just follow you on its own accord.
Would
It
it
seems
be?
intent to stand
Wait.
around and
Probably
do
just going
nothing.
to die either way, isn't it?
Yeah, could we like put him to sleep, and so he'll just die without feeling anything?
I think it's easier just to fucking
If you want to mercy kill this thing, you can. I
Mercy
don't know
kill,
if any of
yeah.
you guys,
Yeah.
Rock.
like have drugs
Wait.
or anything on you or
You
medicine.
know what?
Let
A
me.
painless death. I've
let me
got
do this.
fireball. Would fireball give him a painless death?
I think that might be a bit much.
Poison? Anyone got
Fireball
poison?
would be a pretty instant death. This thing hasn't got many hit points, put it that way. It's starving and pretty much already a corpse. Like, you could just eviscerate it instantly if you wanted to. Hierarchin, are you actually casting Shocking Grasp, or
Oh,
is, or have you
I was
just
just
rolled?
Electric
hoping it
nipple
would show
twist
up to
this
say
to death.
electric nipple twist.
Okay.
No, that's.
mercy nipple twist.
Okay.
What should we do, guys? Should we put it out of its misery?
Yeah.
Just big
Okay.
rock.
Would shocking grasp
But, like-
actually kill it? I don't want to just hurt it even more and it still be alive but
So-
in
This thing has 1 hit point currently,
pain.
and it will not attempt to defend itself in any way, so I wouldn't even make you roll to attack. That 11
Okay.
damage would just kill it.
Could you pop its lungs by breathing into it?
I don't understand.
You really want to breathe into it? Oh
Your-
god!
I have questions.
some
I'm
kind of
worried about
fetish.
you, Robert.
Yeah.
What's the thing
What are
called where
doing?
you huff a
mercy
dead
killing this
person's
thing or
breath?
what?
Why would you huff a dead person?
What?
There's a word
Ain't
for
even a
it.
term
I
for that.
I'm sure there's a
There
term
is
for
a
it.
term
Right
for
or not?
I'm sure there's a term for it.
No, that
No.
isn't.
All right,
Jesus.
this is
Well, you just invented it.
rapidly going into territory that
wrong
I'm
with
not
you?
comfortable with, so we're going to
Yeah.
drop that.
Maybe
Okay.
rename this session for the
So
day
what-
we
what
found
you-
out Rob's
Okay.
Yeah, Rob's real creepy king.
What was
Let's
the
just say-
what was the word you were looking for, Rob?
Huffing a
We don't
dead
need to go
person's
into this.
breath, I think.
Do you really want that in your search history?
Don't.
No.
I'm sure there's a word for it because I know huffing a bag of shit is called jenkum.
And why do you know that?
Hat films.
Of course.
Hat
yeah.
films.
Totally.
That's fair. I can understand that being hat films. Yes. So, are you guys mercy killing this creature? Are you leaving it behind? Are you taking it with you? What are you doing?
He's no use to us if we carry. Like, it will take more work to carry him
Yeah.
than it's
Shall I
worth.
put it out of its misery? Shocking grasp.
You really want to nipple twist that
Really
dude.
do.
Kink.
I'll say sorry to him first. I'll walk up and
Okay, yeah.
put
So
my hand
just
on and
like
say, sorry, but this is for your own benefit, basically.
Close his eyes. and
Not that he
breathe.
understands.
so, I think for like
Not that he
the sake
understands the
of-
thing I'm saying.
well,
Maybe
I
you
think
should
for
tell
the
him actually,
sake
Rob, because
of
at least you can
like
speak his
RP,
language.
I think like you do this while you like are still able to like read what's left of his consciousness, and you do
Okay,
feel
yeah.
like this feeling of gratitude from him,
Yeah, okay,
and
that's
then you
good.
kill him. And yeah, you just like lightning courses through him, and his smoking corpse just like falls to its knees and drops dead instantly.
At least he
Can
appreciated
I do that thing where I put my hand over his face to close his eyes?
Yeah,
To
you
be f-
reach
this
up
sounds
to
really
his
bad.
face and
Will
sorry,
it get a
what-
bench though?
No.
No
You
bench.
reach up to his face and close his eyes, and you feel his eyes feel unusual. And you take a look, and there's like a mushroom
third
growing
one.
behind. No, there's a mushroom growing behind one of his eyes.
Oh no.
Eh,
He didn't have a brain, it was just a mushroom. That's what made him
I
a
was
fun
drinking the
guy.
mushrooms, bro.
He was a fun guy when he was alive.
Hey.
Hey, someone had to do it.
Okay.
Someone had to do it.
And
Yeah.
that's
So
the end of the
Matt, what
session.
were you saying?
It sounds really bad, and it's don't take it this way. Have we actually looked if there's anything on this guy?
Yeah, dog tag or
Now
something.
we've
I was
killed
thinking.
him. Do you want to search
What's in
him?
his pockets?
What? Yeah.
Loot
essentially we
him.
just mercy killed him. But is there anything in his
Okay, just
pockets
driver's
which could help us
license.
at all? Any information on him?
I assume.
I was going to say, you best
Any
explain where
gold?
you're going with this, because if
I'm
you're
not
just gonna
saying
root
pickpocket
down-
the fucking dead guy. I'm saying, is there
You
any
basically are
useful
saying that.
information on him?
Make like an investigation check, I guess, if you want to search him.
It's not
Yeah.
pickpocketing if you put the stuff back after, right?
Yes, it is. Okay. First of all, in terms of valuables, we have no valuables.
Yeah, doesn't expect
Sad.
any to be on him.
You might find that like he had like something that maybe he had like emotional value to him in life. He's not like carrying a map to the ruins of his old village in his pockets or anything.
Diary, letters.
You're not certain this creature was able to read or write. He seems like he didn't have any food or anything on him. He seems like literally he was just fleeing his village and got caught
Okay.
and was dragged here.
Should we at least give this thing a burial?
Yay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're not in any danger here, are we?
Yeah, I was
No,
gonna
we've
say,
gone,
we-
like,
There's,
an hour over
there's
the
nothing
hills.
around. You could spend an hour like
Yeah, let's do
digging a
that.
shallow grave for him. You find as you dig, there's roots all through the ground here.
Can we burn it?
I
No.
mean,
I mean,
it's
Digging
Like,
be
too
this
deep.
hostile,
is-
wouldn't it?
everywhere is roots, and like you dig into it, and yeah, you sever some roots, and you dig up roots and stuff, and it's like it's not even like thick tree roots. It's like small, like little plant roots, which you are still able to like dig through as you dig a grave for this creature, but this is a really unnatural density of roots considering the foliage.
You were right then. It does have roots which sense steps and stuff. So if we tried to sneak around, we probably would have been caught pretty quickly.
So, what are you guys doing? Are you heading towards the citadel, or are you going to head north?
What's
It's
north?
up to you.
Yeah,
I
we've
think
got two options
north
now.
is
We
the
can go
is
to
the
the town
is the
where they
ru-
all
it's the
come
village.
from.
Yeah, the ruined village. We could try going north to find this
Yeah. Why not?
village.
I mean, what do we hope to find from this village.
Hopefully the cult, so we can just fucking massacre
The
them.
rest of the cult.
Yeah, at least we know it's not just
Yeah.
noodle face man.
But remember that they can probably tell we're heading in that direction, so they'll get
Yeah.
like they'll know that we're onto them. Or
Mhm.
Zolt will anyway.
Well, we did say we were going to leave them. We didn't say we weren't going to explore the area.
That's true. Technically,
So-
we're still doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're just doing what we do. Explorers.
Yep.
So you guys are heading north then. What are you doing to try and find this village? What are you searching for as you head north? Because you haven't got much to go on right now.
Hmm.
You know it's about a
Tracker.
day's travel
Would
more.
there still be tracks from like, and could we like search for like some kind of tracks that would lead to a village?
Yeah, definitely. You know that like orcs have clearly escaped and fled in this direction. You know that there has been like cultist activity around here. Like you can definitely search for tracks with that. It'd be a survival check from whoever wants to do it.
Who's got good
Sarah, again, you have advantage.
Yeah.
Because Ranger.
Okay, so which one? Investigation.
Survival.
Survival.
Fine.
Searching for tracks of survival.
I'm pretty certain the 24 would do it.
Yeah.
24, yeah.
You get the 2, don't you?
Yeah, you guys like travel for a day before you start finding. Well, in fact, no. It's within a day you find tracks of what seems to be a group of like injured orcs, which appear to have like escaped and headed down south. You would find that the tracks end with them being like obliterated by a giant, but you can follow the tracks the other direction and see if they will lead you north. Over the course of a day, and you'll get a long rest to reset spells and stuff for those who have used them.
Nick.
You,
Yeah. I'll put them back up.
mhm.
Okay.
You will find, the ruins of this village, and it's small. They must have had it was more of an encampment than a village. Like they must have had a couple of dozen people living here, including families. It's torched, it's rubble. There's very little left of this place. But if you want, you can try and investigate the place. It's up to you guys how you do it. It's sort of just this scorched, like, circle of, like, burned away wooden palisade walls and where buildings used to be.
Is it obvious what torched the place? They just kind of burned
Fire.
down? Or... Yeah, but I mean, like, was it a dragon sword set fire to the place? I don't know.
Well, you remember from the memory, fire rained down from the sky.
Oh.
Like, that was from an orc's perspective that doesn't understand magic, but you assume, there was either a spell or a series of spells that fired down flames as, like, artillery on this place as its, like, opening volley. And then there was most likely a battle.
So yeah, what would it be? Investigations, then I'm guessing.
Yeah, investigations.
Anyone want
Mine's
to
pretty
be
rubbish,
the...
I think.
Yeah, mine's terrible. I get no bonus.
Oh wait, investigation. No, mine's great. Here you go. 13. Oh no. get plus
I
6.
still have advantage, right?
I'll let you have advantage.
Oh, good.
Not much better.
Wow,
Not much better.
14.
Yeah, what the hell?
Investigation, right?
There you go. Look at
Damage
that. I
roll.
rolled a natural 18.
Oh, okay. At least you got a good score.
I mean, it is very obvious that like signs of a struggle are here. There are like the corpses of fallen orcs, and some of them have been left where they stood. Some of them have empty heads where, you know, a certain mind flayer has eaten their brains. There is a lot of these, like pretty much all of these injuries are done by magic damage. There's no like, well, very few like sword blows. Interestingly, no sign of any non-orc corpses here. And as well, like, I think like with your abilities to track and with your investigation check, you would see like it appears as though several orcs have been like dragged away. Like orcs that resisted were killed and subdued, and as many as possible were taken alive and taken elsewhere, or some escaped.
Can we see foot tracks that exit the area, or like where bodies were dragged?
Yes, I'd say so. Like with your ability to track, I won't even like make you guys make any more rolls for that because of like Risu and the fact that you are already sort of tracking all of this business. You would know that there are in fact drag marks that are heading to the east, no, to the west of here, and there's a lot of them.
Is that in the
Probably-
direction of the citadel, or?
The citadel would be more sort of southwest.
Okay.
Would this be
But
more the
it's
direction of the Mind Flare, where we were before?
Mind Flayer is directly south.
Ah,
Not far south, only a day or so, but
so this is new.
this is to some other location probably, or just out of the hills. You're not sure how far this goes unless you want to follow it.
I got a mince pie, guys.
Lovely.
Damn. Not jealous.
I
A
am.
mince pie
'Tis the
in
season.
February.
It's basically March.
Well, yeah. Tomorrow is March.
In a couple hours. Yeah. So what's the question,
Yeah,
Logan?
what was the question?
Well, I was saying, what are you guys doing? You know, do you want to follow these tracks? Do you want to
It's-
continue your investigation here? What are you doing?
I take it
Like,
there's
this
nothing
was
left to loot.
essentially Yeah, there's like, well, you can search for loot.
A quick
I doubt
search. I
you'll
don't
find
want to take up too
magnified,
much time.
put it that
I
way.
highly doubt there's anything here.
And then to sell.
Yeah, I think we just move on.
Carry on.
Follow
Follow
the-
the
follow
track.
the
Very
tracks,
quick
yeah,
whisk
to the
round.
to the west.
You desperately want to find something.
I
don't you?
want yeah, just for a chance.
Rob,
Go on, then.
Rob,
You can catch up with us. You look around. And
Yeah,
we'll
alright.
run
you carry
after
on
us.
looking. We'll go.
We're like,
Just-
oh god, not again. Leave him to it.
Give it a quick perception check.
Yep. So
Cast
In the
your eye
meantime,
on
the
it.
rest of us have already started leaving.
yeah. 16.
You do see amongst like the burnt out ruins what was probably once like the chieftain's area. There was previously like a pile of all of the loot in like their that building. It's been mostly picked clean, but in like assorted gold pieces and copper pieces that are just like left laying around. If you spent the time to pick it up, there'd probably be about 20 gold there. But yeah, the loot has been taken from this place when they ransacked it and kidnapped everyone.
Yeah, I'm not going to spend too much time, but I'll pick up 10 gold's worth.
Sure. Yep. Mark 10 gold.
Yeah.
It's just like loose coinage that's been left, and they just didn't bother to pick it all up because they'd already taken the treasure pile.
All right, and I'll catch up with the rest.
Cool. So you guys follow these tracks east to a very familiar sort of cave structure. It is a different. Well, you're in a very hilly terrain anyway, so it's more of just a cave digging into the side of the hill, and you're not really. It reminds you a lot of that cave where you fought all the Zernas cultists after you met with the Deep Terror. Despite the fact that this is very definitely a different cave, it seems to have a familiar feeling about it.
As in, we feel like we're being watched even more, or it's eerie.
In fact, you feel like you're probably at the edge or maybe just outside of that feeling of being watched by the Myconids by now.
All right, so it's
So,
like kind of fading away.
Yeah.
So the cave is just very
You're no
familiar to us.
longer certain about whether or not you're being watched by the Myconids. But yeah, there's like, I think as a DM, there's very little I can do to make it more obvious to you guys that, yeah, this is a Zernas cave where Zernas cultists are. You track them here.
Yeah, so
It
we
feels
pretty
like
much
a Zernas
realised
cave.
that it's
You've seen
the
this
same as the other
before.
one.
I mean, we did follow tracks of dead bodies being dragged where
Yeah, you've
they were
seen this
clearly
before.
attacked by them. Yeah.
Yeah.
We found exactly what we were searching for. Well done.
Mhm.
Well, I think we go in there
Yeah.
Just
because
destroy them.
Stealth
I
it.
remember the last time that they had some kind of like magic booby trap on the door, so that might be anything.
Oh yeah.
No,
Can
Trey.
Ott detect that stuff, or am I still thinking of good old Milo?
Damn. We should have brought that orc with us and sent him
Those
ahead.
spells and your abilities. What do you have?
wow, just made it suffer so we could chuck it through a door and
Yeah.
kill it anyway.
Either way, put him out of his misery. At least he'd be useful.
Ouch.
I shouldn't say that. I was the one who put him out. I was kind to him.
You guys are
Can
currently
we,
outside the cave. What are you all doing?
Pass without a trace.
Okay.
Throw a
More
rock through the cave entrance. See if anything happens.
Cast
Okay.
spell.
Risu casts Pass Without a Trace. Everyone within, 30 feet of you or something like that, get
Is that the
plus
great
10
one?
to your stealth checks.
Yeah. So
Okay.
30 feet
Hell yeah.
plus 10. Which is dexterity.
29.
stealth checks.
Oh, stealth! Wow, I got a nat fucking 20.
Whoa.
That was-
Damn.
39.
Wow.
Okay.
It's a nat 20, Logan.
That's
Oh,
a nat
fuck.
1 on stealth.
Oof.
Lucky.
Remember, add 10
Lucky.
That would be the
Yeah.
time to use Lucky.
God
There you go.
fucking. There we go.
So you
So
got plus
20,
10.
24, 22, 26, 29, 39.
Okay, so yeah, you're all getting like 20 plus on your stealth. Are you going into the cave?
Did any of us check to see if this wasn't like
Well, someone's going to
magic
investigate.
trapped again?
Yeah,
Yeah.
is there a way of checking?
That's up to you. How are you doing it?
Did nobody level up to check magic?
I mean, I
Did
was going
anyone
to get
use
detect magic.
Magic as a spell.
Yeef.
Because this would have been a good use for it.
I certainly was considering it, wasn't I, Logan?
Yep, it's on the short list. I don't
Yeah.
remember what you picked.
It was Scorching Ray.
Ah, right, yeah. I remember. Well, that might still be useful.
Burn them.
So, what are you doing?
I just realised I didn't put the descriptions for my new spells in.
Oh.
I'm just going to find them now.
Well, none of us
Blame
have
Logan.
any kind of way of like.
Logan, you didn't put
detecting
the
magic,
descriptions
right?
in.
What? I don't know. It's up to you. Do you have any way of detecting magic? Do
Wait.
you have any way of checking for trap?
The
Oh.
only way we can detect traps, I'm guessing, is whoever has any kind of like. I'm guessing Rob has a
Anyone
trap
can-
detection.
I am
Well,
checking, but I
anyone
feel like
can
I
make
should.
a perception or investigation check to look for anything that seems out of place or that might be a trap. That wouldn't like show you magic spells that have been placed there.
Advantage. 17.
You're at the border of where you get advantage. When you go in the cave, you will no longer get it.
I'm outside the cave.
Yeah,
Technically.
it's fine.
Okay.
You have it for now.
Yay.
17. Okay. Anyone else making any checks?
I can't-
Let me
Nothing
check. What's
really
my
help with that.
investigation? My investigation's pretty good. I think it's worth me rolling as well. 22.
Okay. So, Ott, you see something laid across the entrance to the cave. It's not a trap. It's a
Detect.
long
Thing.
silver string, just laid across the ground, not even attached to anything.
Is that to detect if people are coming through that entrance?
Like
It's
a
not
trip
attached
wire?
to anything. It's not a tripwire. Tripwires are attached to mechanisms.
But if it was
It's
so a
laid
tripwire was
across
more
the
for a
ground.
trap. I was more for like alerting of people's presence.
How
Apparently
would
not.
it do that? It's just a piece of string, dude.
I don't
Weird
know.
that it's just laid there, though.
With no magic.
I
Well,
can
you-
tell everyone to watch out.
No one has the detect magic spell, so
Does
Even
no
though
one?
it would have been handy.
Surely someone has it. I swear
No,
I
none of us have it.
really. Okay.
No one has it. I don't
Oh.
even think
I've
Matt
detect-
has it for random
I
reasons.
detect thoughts.
Let me
Like-
detect what's
Have-
the-
No, I have a feeling that of all people, I would probably have it, but I
I
can't.
mean,
Uh,
you don't have it.
You don't
like-
have it.
or
Yeah.
or something kind of similar in my.
Right, like you have the
Nice.
ability to check for traps. That's what you just did.
That
You
is
didn't
it.
find any physical traps.
Mm.
You found this string.
It's a magic trap, guys. Any other
Like-
entrances?
This is a cave. You could try and look around the hill and see if there is any other entrances to the hill, like another cave entrance that opens up elsewhere in this. But it would depend on how big the cave network is.
but what's saying that if we find another entrance, that one's not got a magic trap as well?
Mm-hmm.
Look out for string.
What are you
Can
doing?
we just step over it?
Get Sarah to fly in there.
Yeah, you could just step over it. Do you want it? You've seen it. You can intentionally not touch the string. It's not hard to do.
Yeah, that's all I was thinking. That's like as far as I can figure, the best we can do.
Yeah. How about
Makes
we?
sense.
I mean,
Don't trip.
not. We don't really know what it's going to do. The only thing we can do is try and go over it, and it's just like some kind of like portal like thing that just has like a detection to it, and that's all it does. There's nothing else we can do. We just have to go through it because none of us can detect magic. We know it's there. We have no idea why it's there, other than the fact it might be armed to do something, but we don't know what. And without knowing what, we just gotta go for it.
Take the dive.
Can we see what's on the other side?
We're all
Or is
sneaky.
it too
Cave.
dark?
It's a cave. You can see like 30 feet deep into it because you have dark vision.
Except
It goes on further than that, and then like goes deeper underground and around a corner.
Let's go for it. There's nothing else
Yeah.
we can do, really, is there?
Mhm.
odds. Wait, oh no, we're all starting. Yeah.
So, yeah,
You're
we're all
already
stealth.
all stealthing with like 20 pluses on your stealth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's going first? What's your marching order? What are you doing?
Who's the most perceptive? I guess.
In terms of what though?
How would you know?
Probably Risu or Yolya or
I was going to say it depends on the type of perception we're looking at. If we're just like sound, me.
Like, I mean, I
get
could just.
advantage.
Can there be two people at the front? One person
Yeah,
detecting for
walk two by
traps
two.
and
you
things.
don't have to walk single file. You could just walk in a big person clump.
That sounds like a terrible idea. Can we split up and look for clues? How about me and Yol, you're at the front.
Cuby will go search for clues in the kitchen. Let's go make a sandwich. Let's go make a sandwich.
Ott and Yol, you're at the front to detect for. Ott looking for traps. Yola, general perceptive shizzle.
Okay. Who's behind you two?
I'll go aerial.
Okay.
Aerial in a cave.
10 foot high.
Don't bang your head.
Well, I can see further
It's-
than you guys.
I'll go in the
It's probably
second
like
group.
20 feet tall or something. It's a few meters tall. You can definitely get off the ground,
Oh,
but like it's not like high in the sky or anything.
no.
You wouldn't be getting a bird's eye view. You just
That
wouldn't be touching the ground.
I'm fast.
Okay. So, Hierarchin is going to be behind the
Yeah.
front runners with Risu above. Erlan, what are you doing?
I'll just go rear guard duty.
Okay. So,
Tail it by 20 meters.
Uh,
Sorry.
the two. Well, yeah. How far back are you?
Yeah, let's say only 10 feet. So it's only
Cool.
2 squares, so it's
Right,
not that
so
far.
like 10 feet
Not that
between the
far.
three groups. Okay.
Yeah.
So, first of all, the two front runners. I'm assuming you step over the Fred, making effort not to disturb it at all.
Yes.
I did.
Okay. Soon as you do that, you hear a siren deep within the cave.
Oh god.
You've
I
triggered
thought
the
it'd be
alarm.
more than stepping over it.
Also, another thing happens as you like fully step into the cave. You set off a glyph of warding, and Logan needs to read exactly what happened. It will only affect the first two of you because everyone else is more than 10 feet apart.
Damn it.
After hearing that siren, I run back even further.
What, on your own?
Yeah.
Or are you joining?
Oh no,
join,
24. So everyone in the first and second group will get hit by this as it
No,
explodes.
even though I was running
fireball.
back. Oh,
Mhm.
Is that deck saving throw then?
In fact,
the
no.
one time
not
where I was
even.
brave enough to
It's
follow
a
people.
dex
I was
saving
hanging
throw.
back.
It's acid, sorry, rather than fire, as it like explodes with this cloud of caustic gas.
Oh, joy.
across the air.
Yikes.
So was that a deck
Oh,
saving
dear.
throw? Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Is it just for me and Yolia?
I'm
It's for
fine.
everyone in the
Oh,
first and
yeah.
second group. So Erlan is the only one who doesn't have to make this.
Oh, okay.
I'm fine, Logan. Don't worry about me.
Yeah, I'm aware of you.
I'm fine, Logan. Don't worry about me.
Oh no, you're the complete opposite of fine right now, mate.
Unfortunately,
One time I was brave enough to go in.
You
Yep.
have lucky.
Can I
That's
use
true,
it?
Does
you
he
do
want
have
to
lucky.
spend it?
immediately.
Yeah, that's what I was
No.
thinking. Probably worth
No,
saving.
I'm
How
gonna
many do you
save it.
have?
Something
Well,
worse is gonna.
How many times have you used it? You haven't used it yet, have you?
Yeah,
So
but
you
how
got
many do
three
you
We've
get?
also had, and we've also had
Mm.
days in between where I'm presuming we've had some rest. So
Yeah, so it should be fine.
Yeah,
So
go on
use it.
then. Hold on. I need to get back on the right.
You've still
page.
got 2 more uses of
3,
lucky,
2, 1.
and it's worse.
Ah,
Yeah. So,
Okay, never mind.
those of you who got a 17 or higher, you can half the damage.
damn.
Yolia,
Wow,
I know
I
that
wasn't even
you
close.
can completely avoid it because it's a dex saving throw.
And also,
Since
you won't
wait,
take no damage.
does it count
Actually-
as?
Yeah, I was going to say it's an AOE, isn't it? Don't you get the same effect?
Yeah, I was gonna say since. Yeah.
How
Yeah.
kind do you want me to be? Because I can explain this to you, or in fact, like you've already had it pointed out to you. You have an ability called evasion.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
When there is a
Read it.
dex saving throw to try and half damage from something like this or like the fireball spell, if you succeed, you can reduce the damage to 0 instead of halving. If you fail, you can half the damage. So if you want to use evasion, yes, you can half the damage.
Yeah, I want to use evasion.
Okay.
Of course I do.
Everyone else takes 13. So Hierarchin, 39 points of acid damage.
Oh,
That's half
Ouch.
for the rest of you, except for Yolia, who takes none.
Do we
So
round up or down?
half and round
How
down.
much? 39.
So yeah. So that is 18 points of acid damage for the rest of you. As you set off a glyph of warding. This is a place full of magical cultists. They're going to leave magical traps.
it's
Right.
almost as if,
Right,
like,
and we
This
don't have
isn't
to
the
detect
only
magic.
one. And now you've raised the alarm.
Let's leave while we can and come back after we leveled up and got detect magic.
No
feel like
reason
we're
to
doomed to
fly
fail.
away right now.
we would also need the we would also need the dispel to
Yeah.
like get rid of the magic traps anyway. So we could detect the spell, didn't eat shit.
True.
Yeah. Do I need to roll my evasion now? Then.
Evasion is just a reaction. You don't need to roll for it. It is.
Oh, right.
If you had passed the saving throw, you would have taken no damage. If you fail it, you take half.
Oh right. It says when you're subjected to an area effect that allows you to make a dexterity saving throw to take only half damage.
Yeah, so you failed the save.
Oh, it's the same roll. Okay,
Yes.
cool.
Cool.
So, what are you guys doing?
Drenched in acid.
I think it's time to get ready to fight.
Shout on guard.
because, You know,
On guard.
there are probably gonna be cultists getting ready to begin the.
Oh yeah, you
defending.
definitely triggered the alarm. You don't hear any noise from deeper within, other than the sound of that very loud siren.
Can we turn it off? Like shoot an arrow at it?
It's
Wherever the
not.
siren's coming from?
It's deeper in there, and not like it's a magical effect. You triggered the alarm spell, and the alarm spell, this particular one, is set to make a siren sound
What triggered it by any chance?
when you stepped over the string.
Oh, so stepping over it. Right.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like someone was clumsy enough and just stepped on it.
Nope.
Yeah, how alarm works, Rob, is it basically if anything like comes within near contact to it, is it was as
It's anything
within the
enters
string.
the area which is designated by the alarm spell.
Okay.
Yeah.
String draws the border of that area.
Okay, and so moving that string wouldn't have made any difference. It would have set it off.
Yeah, it would
Okay.
say off.
No, we'd have to disarm it.
I mean, if you, I don't know.
You would have needed the dispel magic spell.
Yep. And
Do you
no
want
one
me
has
to
that
tell
one,
you
right?
how you guys got past this last time? Because I've given you this trap before.
Oh, really?
Wasn't it? Didn't we dimension door through?
You teleported past it, yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And you were so desperate to use that earlier to get in someone's tent.
I mean, I regret not going in the tent.
Well, I could have only dimension doored one person. I think someone just got a spell this level, which lets them take a load of
Okay.
people.
Too late.
Too late, is
Point
it?
dwelling on the past.
No point dwelling now, is it?
Yeah. Are we going deeper into the cave? Yeah. Like the alarm's going. They know we're here. It's only a matter of time before we roll initiative. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's just go deeper into the cave. They know we're here. May as well.
Dexterity saving throw from the people in the front 2 rows again.
Two
As
rows.
you get about 20,
Damn
as
it.
you get about another 20 feet deep into this mine and hit another glyph of warding.
Better than last time, at least.
Yeah, so same DCs again, so 17 and above. So Sarah
damn it.
makes it, Ott fails it again,
Yay.
Hyarkin fails it again. And I'll roll the
Use my
damage.
second
Can I
lucky.
keep evading?
Wait, I'm using
Work.
lucky.
Wait, Nick,
Yes!
Would shield
Nick
work?
saved.
I
No,
saved.
No, shield only adds to armor
Uh,
class.
Sorry, look, how much damage did I took last time? Was it half or none at all?
It was half, so
That's
you took 18 last time.
Okay.
This one's worse, guys.
Oh boy.
You're really glad that you succeeded on that one. Because the base damage is 57.
Oh my god. I would have
And
died.
this one is going to be fire damage.
We're not going to get through this cave alive.
Retreat.
Nick, you might want to take another 10 feet step backwards, so you're not in line with these attacks.
How kind do you want the
I'm
DM?
I'm not even going close to them. I'm staying right at the entrance.
Hang on. How kind do you want the DM to be?
Hmm.
You might want to be
Who is
kind
that?
here,
Nick?
Logan.
Kind. Be kind.
Okay. Nick, you have resistance to fire damage. So you half fire damage, and you succeeded the saving throw, so you half it again.
Oh, excellent.
So.
So what's the damage on that?
Everyone halves it for one reason or another, don't they? And Yolia takes none again. So it is 57 halved is 28.
Okay. And then I take half
Half
of
the
that.
gain is
So what, 14?
14. Yeah.
Damn, we're getting beaten up by this cave.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It's almost as though blundering
Really feel
blindly
it.
forward into an area which is heavily laden with magical traps is a real bad plan.
We should be here, guys.
I wasn't joking. Let's come back after we can deal with these spells.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just put the fucking Persona Life Will Change music on. God damn it.
Like,
I was
we-
ready to full on run through this bad
So-
boy, but yeah,
Right.
I should probably
Like,
leave because
no,
you
it's
guys are
fine.
gonna fucking die.
We don't need to be
How-
here. Our objective is to get to the Citadel of the Stars.
I'm going out.
Okay.
That's
You
it,
can
I'm
turn.
leaving.
You can turn away, and you can just leave this, or you can rest outside and try and come up with a plan, or whatever's up to you. You don't need to do this. This is this isn't the main story. This is a
It's a
side
side
quest. There is no main story. You can always say no. I don't do that to anything. You guys
I
are the
still
ones
like-
driving this.
I still
Yeah.
like Nick's. I've had enough. I'm out.
Yeah,
They've
I'm
pushed
not
me too
risking my
far.
life anymore.
I'm not risking this. Bullshit.
I'll just sit here.
Yeah,
I mean, from the looks of it, Logan, or to go meta, the DM has planned for us to try and dimension door straight through that bad boy. So, if we're
the
coming
DM
back,
does not plan for you to do anything specifically. The DM presents you a problem, and however you deal with it is up to you. Do not make sure that I make sure that these puzzles are solvable. I don't specifically
Sure,
write
solve.
a single solution.
How
I've got an
much-
idea.
How deep? One sec. How much deeper do we need to go until we reach the cavern like we did the last time? Like the main.
It was like 100 or so feet deep was the cavern last time. This you can see for about 30 feet ahead of you, and the cave sort of curves around a corner and goes down deeper.
I've got an
So-
idea. Oh.
Yeah, no, I'm sitting this one out.
We, Alex,
so
how
far, every 20 feet or so, you're hitting another glyph of warding. So
Once
many
you hit,
grenades do you have left, Alex?
Oh, I've still got quite a few of them, I think.
How about we throw them at the door and we trap them in this cave and we walk around the outside and make sure that they couldn't have got out?
Hey, that's a smart idea.
I mean,
Yeah,
if we
yeah.
can't get to them, we might as well just starve them of oxygen
Yeah,
and let them die.
I'll just scream down. Oh, screw this! I'll just cave this place in and then walk off and see what they do. And we'll wait a minute to see if anyone come out. If they start to come out, I just throw one at the entrance of it anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, why don't we just
Sweet,
fucking
I
nuke
did
the
that.
place?
They were just tricked out.
all right, yeah, sure. No, I'm fine with that. If you want
I
to
like that.
spend limited resources to come up with a clever way of circumventing a challenge, then absolutely do that.
we don't need to do
mean,
this,
we've got-
guys.
We've got enough because they've
Let's
got
try it.
mine.
I mean, I've
and
got some
Rob's
really.
still.
Yeah.
I've probably got some really strong spells which could probably do as much as a grenade as well.
The
can't
thing with the
remember how many
grenades
I've
is
got
they
left.
deal extra damage to structures as well.
Yeah,
So they're like
Which this would be
particularly
classed as.
effective.
I can't remember
Yeah.
how many I've got, and for some reason they're not showing in my inventory anymore, which is really stupid.
Check
I know what's
your
about-
journal. You have it's the bag of coal.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a bag of
I don't
coal.
know
but
how many have you used? Because I know you used some in Christmas specials, which are non-canon. I don't know what you've used
I
outside of
used
that.
one in Christmas specials and one outside. I think I've got
Okay.
3 technically.
Well, it contains 5 pieces, but you've used one outside, so you've got 4 pieces of coal.
We're not classing the Christmas specials.
They're non-canon.
Okay,
don't
so we've
count.
got 4 then.
You got 4.
So yeah, we'll do that. We'll all head back out. I'll shout down as loud as I can. Screw this place. I'll just cave it in instead, so they can't get out.
Yeah.
and see if they wait near the entrance. See if they react. They start reacting. I throw a grenade at it anyway.
Yeah.
Fire in the hole.
Okay.
Should
So
we-
yeah,
should we-
roll your
mean-
damage on the. Sorry, what are you saying, Matt?
I was gonna say, do we want to shout and try and give them a second to actually leave? And
Yeah, that's
we
what I
then,
mean.
like catch them
So-
out,
so
or are we
I-
just
I-
gonna simply kill them anyway? Just
Well, I mean,
Okay.
here's the thing. We can wait until we start seeing some movement at the front of the cave. I launch it at the entrance of the cave anyway. It's going to do a ridiculous amount of damage. It's 4d12 damage.
intimidation check. Do you want me to do one down there? Basically, just saying, if you don't leave, we're gonna starve you. Of
Well,
oxygen
I'm
and
just
food.
gonna shout down. Screw this place. I'm just gonna cave this in so they can't
Right,
leave.
yeah.
That's
Yeah,
more
right.
than enough of it. Like,
Yeah.
oh shit, maybe we should also
Yeah.
leave.
Sure.
So
You shout that down. There is no immediate response. No one shouts back to you. You don't hear like the sounds of dozens of footsteps running towards you or anything. How long do you want to wait before you do this?
Are you sure you want to warn them? Because they could probably put up a defense. Of
Too
some
late.
sort.
He's already shouted it down.
how long do you want to wait? Like
20 seconds?
A minute,
wait, like a
an
minute,
hour,
and then a
20
minute.
seconds.
Yeah, no, a minute.
Okay.
Let's do a minute, and then I'll roll my damage. Because I'll just throw it.
Okay. Within a minute, you don't hear footsteps. No one comes.
Is there other sides of the cave that they could just leave out of?
Oh god, they're not going to come
Likelihood.
around the back and just
Yeah, they could surround us.
surround
Get them
us.
aerial reconnaissance, please.
Sarah,
Yeah, Sarah, fly up, see where they are, see where they come out a different exit.
Sure.
We
Make a
didn't think this
perception
through
check.
very well, did we?
Perception.
And I need to look a thing up. Hang
No,
on.
I'm wishing I
8.
stayed with the mushroom
Do
people.
I get advantage again? Because we're outside.
I'll allow it.
Yay!
In fact, no, you'll have to spend lucky for that if you want it.
All right.
that's fine. Don't worry about it. So Lucky's fine. Just use her.
Okay. I need to look up a thing. Hang on. Yeah. You don't see any other entrances. There's nothing visible as you like fly over and look at the cave.
Okay.
Boots on the ground may reveal something else, or maybe there are no other entrances.
We don't need to be here wasting.
So yeah, it's
think-
been a minute. You have had a flyover and seen no other entrances. Are you throwing the grenade?
I look over at Airline. I'm like, are we? No movement.
I put my shades down and I walk away from the scene. Cool guys never look at explosions.
They just turn
There's been no
around.
explosion.
walk away.
As he's walking away, I'm like, there's no explosion though.
Also, there's
Because
like
I haven't
this
thrown it
weird.
yet.
You don't know where these shades came from, and also he's completely blind now because he's wearing sunglasses in pitch black darkness.
So he trips over something. So all he
Ilan
does is
face
actually
plants the ground somewhere a few meters away from you.
Trip over one of the many fucking like, branches in the area.
hmm So
Um,
you've had your yes from Erlan.
So it's like, well, I can't be asked with dealing with a ton of glyphs or whatever that we can't actually deal with.
Mm-hmm.
So there
Okay,
you go.
27 damage, doubled. So you deal a total of 54 points of damage to the entrance of this cave, which, yeah, it crumbles and large boulders block the entrance to the cave. What do you want to do now? You've blocked the entrance to the cave.
And now what?
Yeah, now
Alright.
what?
Now what?
Now do you just play the waiting game, or...
I think so. I don't think we leave this place
Wait for them
until.
to run out of oxygen.
You could search around. Like we've already done the
Seafall,
flyover.
baby. Yeah,
Yeah, we could,
so
like, Wait to see if they try and do anything like other magic to like leave the place.
mhm.
Can a flyover even see everything? Like maybe you might need to be walking around to check out if there's any other exits. I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Do
I think
you want to try?
I mean, I feel like if we go back on ourselves now, there might. Can those traps re-trigger, or is it just a one-time?
Those glyphs seem to be spent. It was just a question of, was there any more? Like, you walked in the front door and just, like, paraded down the passageway with the alarms blaring and triggered every trap going. Like,
we will.
it went bad.
Find the back door. Let's do it.
Investigation check if you want to search around the rest of this hill.
Is this continuing the kinks of Rob?
I see literally nothing. I'm busy staring at my hands.
You walk around this hill. Seems to be a hill. There's a blocked up entrance.
Wonder where that came from.
Feel like
is
I've
it
been
just
here.
Ott who's searching this, or
No.
what are other people doing? You all stood around. Erlan, you are still lying face down on the ground, as far as I'm aware, dude.
I
Yeah, you didn't
died.
get back
I
up.
don't know how. You don't think you guys realize how many hit points I took there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to investigate as well. I'm going
Yeah.
to just kind of start trawling around, looking for.
All right.
Holy shit!
There you go.
Here we go. With the nat 20, actually, I love that Erlan's the one who found this. You're all just wandering around, looking around, not seeing anything. And then all of a sudden, Erlan just falls through the ground.
That's what he gets for rolling.
Someone
a nat
has
20.
cast the spell Hallucinatory Terrain, which
Oh,
makes
no.
there be an illusion of the hill covering a secret entrance on the other side of this hill, on the other side of this cave.
Can you see people running away?
It's probably been 10 or 15 minutes though of you like searching and wandering around since you initially
Yeah.
shouted your intentions, like giving you guys like shouted it, waited a minute, had a flyover, Otter's searched, you've all searched. But yeah, you find this like illusion of a hillside covering another entrance.
There's no one here. They've all gone. Should we
You don't see anyone
follow
else running
Erlan
away
in?
from the area.
Or should we follow Erlan in,
You guys-
guys?
What am I seeing down here then?
So yeah, where did he fall to?
Yeah.
What can he see?
Well, this is another entrance to the cave. It's significantly smaller than the other one. This seems to just be a smaller passage, like a natural cave entrance, similar to the other one. Again, it's a much smaller, narrower passage that seems to just go deeper down into the hillside.
And could we follow footprints that left the cave?
You don't see any trap.
Oh,
Am I still conscious?
Yeah, you didn't take any damage. You fell like a meter, dude.
Okay. I'm just like.
Like,
I won't.
brush
I won't.
yourself off.
You know,
Your head
I'm
is
not-
sticking out from above the illusion.
I am going to message because I think it would be stupid to just scream out I found the second entrance. So I'm gonna message. I'm gonna message Rithu because she can fly around and tell everyone and basically just say, "Hi, I found another entrance. Keep it quiet. Come to my
Okay, yeah.
location. I'm just here, blank."
Yeah, that seems smart to me. So yeah, the rest of the group can be made aware. And within another minute or so, you can convene at the entrance to the cave if you want.
Mm.
Or at
So-
this other entrance if you want.
At this other entrance, it
Mhm.
looks like it's anything that is a telltale. Oh, there's more.
any more
Whatever.
string?
Yeah, and glyphs of warding.
Other than this hallucinatory terrain, you do not see any string that would indicate an alarm spell. It's glyphs of warding are invisible. You wouldn't know one unless you had like well, they can be made invisible. The ones that you saw before were invisible, so you wouldn't know one without a detect magic spell. But there was no alarm on this door, and it was covered by an illusion.
I guess they thought that an illusion would be good enough to deter people from going into like, the other entrance.
Maybe. Smile.
What's the
I mean,
plan,
they-
guys? We're gonna
It
go
wouldn't
in.
be dumb enough to leave.
Erlan, you can
They're
walk
fine.
ahead.
I think this is the perfect opportunity for us to finish the session.
I was thinking it's getting to about 10 o'clock now.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be happy to stop for the day.
I will say, as the session ends, and as you're coming up towards the 20-minute mark since your warning, you are at the entrance to this cave and you begin to hear the footfalls of nearby giants. several of them.
Oh boy.
Of course.
Oh god.
If they're
Let's do
Ah,
this.
are they too big to fit through that entrance?
Definitely. They're giants.
So-
This is like a passage which is maybe a couple of meters in diameter. But what's to stop them collapsing the entrance on you, Smile?
Did you reveal your plans?
No,
The
he's
DM can say whatever the DM wants.
just goofing with
How
us.
strong is Risu? Can she lift us all up and fly us out of here?
No. She ain't that strong.
I mean, we do have a teleport spell.
Yeah, I was gonna
which-
say you can teleport us all out.
We can teleport.
hmm
What's the range on the teleport though?
Smile. Anyway,
Basically,
the
you're saying
session
it
is
doesn't
over.
matter how big the range is.
The session is over. Good game,
Not
everyone.
as
You
big as a
can
giant.
you can continue to strategize if you want, but the DM will offer you no further answers, and nothing else will happen.
Cool.
Okay.
Cool.
But yeah, it's 10 o'clock. I got work tomorrow, so